Ah, something completely different and unplanned. Wailing, wailing. You know, it's a strange hour for me to be on, but I'll take it. I know when I get some more shit done while I can, because today I really have to go to bed fucking early in order to actually get some playtime in. We're gonna do it now. Bit of a strange one, yes, but you know, could be worse. I'll just wait for YouTube to load because I had to restart the stream again. We'll see what YouTube makes of this. Yes, of course. There are now 2 streams. That is not what's supposed to be. Ah, YouTube. You are special sometimes. Okay, now there's only 1 stream. That is better. I'll just quickly hit in some numbers. Bam, 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 bam. And wait, that's everything I needed to do. Wait, no. That is everything I needed to do. Now then, I'll wait for YouTube to finally load. Quickly going to do something. What? My phone is doing crazy things. I don't appreciate that. Because my phone is like, yes, let me point out a few things for you. It's like, do you wish to be annoyed? Sitting in like, not really. Thanks for asking. That's strange. Oh well. YouTube, would you please finish? Loading. And YouTube is like, nah man, I won't. Well, since I haven't really prepared for things. Kinda. Okay, now it is loaded. A situation where I'm only half prepared to get things done. We're gonna start with more Christian, of course, because, well, if you watch that long, you'll stay with it. Then we'll wait. You, Little Terry, welcome. Welcome to some unexpected playtime. I'm also looking for something, which is fun. I'm very good, well prepared, I can only say. Why? One time I'm looking for something. I end up not finding it. How long do you have? Around 2 hours. Maybe a bit more, we can stretch it a bit. But that's basically it. Not a bad deal, mind you. So we're gonna take it slow. You know, do the usual. Some playing, some listening, some minor stuff basically. I kinda wanna finish the Warlock quest with the for the rope. So there's that. That's probably gonna take us a bit. While I do this, I actually can't hear the sound on the video. You should. Ah, wait a second. There it is.
The blame for causing everyone
Let me zap back a bit
because of her,
in case you missed something.
Dupi wrote back that while she
Give me a
appreciated
second, I need to...
Kristen's kindness, it had caused her a lot of problems.
yeah.
She intended to refund the pledges and
The
let
number.
Chris use the money
Push
to
the
buy a
number,
shirt
pull
from
the
her
number
online
into this
store.
fucking phone.
She added that she could not accept her patronage anymore and would appreciate if Chris did not tweet publicly at her for both of their sakes. On August 2nd, Christine made a video addressing the harassment the two have been receiving on Twitter ever since their public falling out.
Let's prep for a moment. Okay? Because
Ah, that was that. I was kind of confused for a second. They're like, okay, you know, way that number wasn't saved in the phone, but now that that is out of my hands, I can finally focus on playing games. A bit more at least. Ah, what strange times we live in.
Send that harassment directly to me.
Oh yeah, we forgot about this.
No one else.
You know,
I will not.
I still stand by my statement that I made yesterday. This new character, this Doopy character. I don't know much about them yet, but I can say one thing for sure. I have some
Every time.
decent, normal understanding of how to deal with people, especially customers.
Don't harass that person.
That's actually feeling pretty damn great for once, especially in a Chris context.
You talk directly to me. Do you understand? And don't ever let me catch you talking about me to anyone else on anyone else's timelines,
Don't really know if I want to talk to you, Chris, though. But hey, on another side, now that I have some fucking concentration. How are you, Cherry? Hope things have been getting a bit better, hopefully. Or at least not worse.
Me to anyone harassing them.
But yeah, also, if you realize something is off, like the sound or something, do let me know. Sometimes, especially when I do things haphazardly like this, I do sometimes mess up.
Hey, how you doing? Keep it real.
She
Yeah,
simultaneously
I'd
went to
imagine.
Twitter to launch and promote the hashtag #HarassQuick directly, hoping to draw the ire of trolls to herself instead of Doopy Do-Over.
For somebody
also
who's so
reiterated
bitching
the
and moaning
properties
about
of
being
feminine
harassed,
pronouns
then go
that
like,
trolls
please
refers
harass
to
me,
her.
is
She accompanied her posts
interesting.
with drawings of Planet Dolan characters, all angrily declaring #Don'tHarassMe, with only Christine and 2 iconographs of eyes
Where the
within
fuck are we even
hearts,
going? Oh yeah, we're gonna
#HarassQuick
fly up,
directly.
then take
Chris's
the one
drawn
to Undercity,
avatar
then go
had
to
the
Arasi,
hearted
because I
eye
think I need to
planted on her
learn the
forehead,
next
while all the
tailoring.
Planet Dolan characters wore armbands
Jesus Christ,
displaying the eye
confusion.
symbol.
I forgot what I was about
Encouraged
to do.
people who did not like seeing
It's
other
always a
people
good start,
harassed
isn't
at
it?
their expense to use the illustration of the purple eye and heart as their Twitter profile picture. Soon after, Chris
Where
explained
is
the meaning behind
El
the symbol
Lorico? I think
in a
he's
Patreon
upstairs.
post.
Think
The
he's
icon is a
upstairs.
combination of wearing one's heart on their sleeve and the ability to see the injustice of those who
Do,
harass
do,
other
do,
people at
do,
one
do.
person's expense.
Ah,
And
that
because
Tavern
we are
music in
linked
WoW.
together by having seen such
Honestly, it's
injustice
something
done
that
to
is really
someone or
underappreciated,
another
if you
we care
ask me,
about,
because that's actually pretty
we will
fucking
not let
good.
the trolls, bullies, and haters
Adventure
get away with
awaits.
harassing others at our expense. It was also at around that time that users of the Kiwi Farms noticed that Chris was no longer a patron of
I
any of
wonder,
the
do I wanna
Patreon
do the next
accounts
part of
run
this
by
quest?
or associated
Ah.
with Doopy Do-Over.
May not
Kristen
immediately.
changed back all the profile
What else
pictures
do
of
we
her
have
social media
quest-wise?
accounts
Talk to
which
me.
had used Doopy's illustration,
Let's
reverting
scalp
back to the previous
ears.
pictures used.
Hurry
On
back.
August 3rd,
Probably
Yeah.
not
Little
bad.
Pony voice
Hostile
actress
takeover.
Tabitha St.
Bah.
Germain, who was one of the
Remember
people
that
who
one.
was tagged in her
Friend.
National Girlfriend's
And
Day
Hunter's
tweet,
Camp. Oh yeah,
Glad I
that
could
stating
help.
that she
we
did
can
not read the
combine.
other replies she was tagged in and would block anyone participating in group
What else do
slagging
we
off.
have?
Christine apologized to her, taking the blame for
Declined
causing
demands.
everyone being harassed because of her. She made a string of
I
tweets
kinda
explaining the
remember
reasoning why she made the
reading
initial
that
tweet
one.
and hoped that people did not think of her less
Maybe?
because of her mistake. Tabitha added
God damn
that
it.
if Chris was having a fight
damn
on
it.
Twitter with someone, she should untag those parties not involved. Chris replied that she would, calling the voice actress darling. Her reply drew the ire of several Christian followers on Twitter, writing to her that she still
What's
failed
up?
to learn her lesson about calling strangers by
good.
endearing pet names and getting too close to them. Chris replied to each one of them with insults,
Never learned.
using the slurs uncouth and
Just
cad
never learn,
several
Chris.
times.
That's
likely inspired by the
things
manner
are gonna
of
go
speaking
very
of
late
Saint
for you.
Germain's My Little Pony character, Rarity. Chris then moved on to a tweet from voice actress Tara Strong, making reference to actress Melissa Joan Hart, with whom she would be working. Chris
Yeah,
expressed her
learn
surprise
your
at the two
lesson,
working
just
together,
continue
commenting
doing,
that she liked
everything will
Melissa.
be splendidly going
Meanwhile,
wrong.
Chris continued to
Right
reply
back.
to tweets insulting or making fun of her.
I don't think we're
with
gonna do
quips
many
and
of these quests
insults
immediately.
directed
First
back at
things
the
first, we
trolls.
have our mission for today.
On August 4th,
Once that is done, we will
Christine
think
wrote an
about
update
the
on
other things.
Patreon regarding uploads of new Sonetry pages. My most sincere
not this
apologies,
side.
everyone, but with the recent stresses of some people harassing people I liked, not harassing them, just a few thoughtful tweets now and then towards a genuine friendship. I was never expecting sex, you uncouth twats who ruined nearly everything. I got
Uncouth
distracted drawing
twats.
the icon set for the friends/family of one who was most
Oh
affected
well,
with the
that's not,
trolls' harassment at my expense. Again,
Not even be
you
surprised,
got
honestly.
something
No,
to
no,
say
I'm
against
not
me.
even be
You
surprised
tell
at
it
this point.
only
Nah,
to
nah,
me and nobody else
my quest
outside
log
of
is
your
full.
private forums.
Guess it's time to
Definitely
clean
nowhere
that
else
up
on
too.
Twitter other than directly to me, Miss Christine
Let's
Weston Chandler.
see here.
I am she, and I like men as I
let's
like
keep
heavy
that one
metal
for the
music.
moment.
I do not like heavy metal music. Hardly a real
What?
beat or tune, and the lyrics
Fuck you,
are
heavy metal can be
incoherent.
fucking awesome.
Sigh.
Go fuck yourself, Chris.
One of her patrons wrote that she had a pattern
have
of
one for the
violating
Scarlet
the
Monster. I'm
personal
gonna keep
space
that
of
one.
women, and that she should admit that the way Dupi acted towards her was not solely caused by troll actions. Christine replied that she knew that, adding that she had learned from her past
damn
errors
it.
and mistakes, and that she did not violate women's personal space. She felt that Dupi liked her kindness
guess we could have
while she
finished
was
that
recovering
one.
from the harassment from all the trolls and bullies who, according to her, ruined nearly everything. On the 5th, Karen Riley,
I guess we can abandon
notable
this one.
member of the QB Farms, who had interacted with Chris in
And
the past,
the
wrote on
den
Twitter
quest.
that Dupi was not her
I mean, if I
friend,
want to
as she
do
had
it later, I
specifically
can
said.
always re-get it
Chris
because
disagreed,
that. Wait a second.
stating
Does
that they
this
were not
start?
close yet,
Yes,
that
this
the
starts in
phrase,
Stone
"I'm
Tail
not
Mountain
your
from the
friend,"
elf.
was never written by Dupi.
Just need to think this through, you
Dupi
know.
do over herself, then came to reply to Chris. I can't
Need to
believe I
be
had to unblock you
smart
to tell
about
you
it.
this.
Very
I'm not your
smart.
friend.
Mhm.
I'm not ever interested in being your friend. Leave me alone. You were specifically a customer to me, and you took it too far. You creeped me out. Now please don't talk to or about me ever
I
again.
mean, you know,
Afterwards,
let me-
Chris sent a direct message to
I'm positively surprised by this Droopy character because, well, you know, they're actually looking like a normal person. Welcome back, little Terry. And that's nice and dandy. This, sometimes, to be fair, customers will creep you out. Well, you know, customers can be creepy assholes too, yes. Depending on how much money they give you, though, I kind of have to suck it up for a bit. Make some competitive stuff, so that's why I can't. Ah, I see. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. It's nice enough of you to actually drop by, you know? And I'm not really asking much more people. Just stay at the lounge more than enough. So, you know. Like nice and easy and have some fun. So what are you playing that's competitive? I'm asking more out of interest because usually I'm not into the competitive stuff. I'm more of a, what was mildly, a relaxed one. Doesn't mean that I'm not interested, you know? So yeah, just right back when you have some time, you know. No pressure. New season of Overwatch 2. Ah, Overwatch. There's only one reason why I actually know of Overwatch, and that is the overwhelming amount of porn there is of it. I could probably name most of the female characters at this point. Not because I played the game ever. Well, at least Blizzard managed that, eh? But as I haven't really played Overwatch, I can't really comment on it. But I did hear that Overwatch 2 had a, how to put it mildly, a rough start, I guess.
Stay away from the voodoo.
We'll just take this quest for the moment. Honestly, we're not gonna do any of these quests at the moment. What we are gonna do is we're gonna fly over up. But you know, finish our own quest first. Also, I think the next one that can teach me more tailoring, because I actually managed to fill that up to 150, all the silk we collected, is in Terrence Hill actually.
Karen Riley, telling her that Karen was no angel herself, and that she should go back to the forums.
Rated
Kristen
since the
blocked
start.
her
Oh,
on
that's
Twitter.
cool. Honestly, I think for me personally,
At around
the
that
high
time,
point
Christine shared a profile
is
picture that someone on Twitter allegedly made of her custom My Little Pony
yeah, they
persona,
ruined pretty much
Night
everything,
Star.
didn't they?
This new
Damn
user,
it, I just missed
who
it.
also used the handle @Nightstar2891,
I mean, look
proceeded
at
to follow many
look
accounts
at Modern
by My Little
WoW.
Pony voice
I mean, sure, it's a matter of
actors
taste.
and
I'm personally
creators, including Doopy Do-Over. The user would also defend
feel
Chris
that they
in
kinda
Twitter
lost their
replies.
touch.
Many observers suspected that it was an alternate account
Of
created
many
by
things.
Christine to defend
As I said, I
herself
can't
in
really speak for
public
Overwatch,
tweets
but
and to follow the people
as I
who
said,
had
you know,
blocked her
I think the
original
greatest
account.
thing you have to pay
On
20 years
August
to get one was
6th,
skin. Fuck
Doopy created
that.
an account
That's
on
fucking
Twitter
amazingly
and began leaking private emails
greedy
she
of
received
fucking
from Christine
Blizzard.
regarding sending her character descriptions as reference for her commission and her apology for tagging Doopy in the original National Girlfriend's Day tweet. Doopy also revealed an email Chris wrote in response to watching her video about things she didn't understand, writing that she believed in alternate dimensions, where the characters they created
that's,
continued to live their lives after their
quite a
published
price
stories
tag
are
for
concluded.
the fucking skin.
She added that
I
she
mean, I was
also
never much a
developing
fan
psychic powers
of
through
that
the
whole
listening of binaural beats
buying
and could bend
skins,
paper with her
technically
mind
speaking.
waves,
I mean,
hoping
sure,
to
if it's an
only
option,
strengthen
let them add it,
powers
but
through daily practice
never
so
felt the
that
need
she could
to
use them
get
for
myself
good,
that
such as
closely.
levitating herself to fly.
At least not
Also
as long
on
as I
that
can
day,
actually play for it.
Chris
If it's a
switched
game I
back to
really
using
like, I have
Doopy's
no problem,
illustration as her profile picture.
you know,
Suspecting
for
that
it.
the Nightstar Twitter account belonged
But
to
20
Chris,
euro,
QE
that's
Farm's moderator
a stiff
and
price
copy
tag.
administrator,
I'll just have to say, you
Marvin,
can get a
direct
full game.
messaged Nightstar
Heck, you can
on
get a
Twitter,
whole bundle of
pretending to be
games,
an
depending on how
observer
old they
of
are,
Chris
for
Chan,
20
stating that
euros.
since they shared so many distinct
Oh, you could
writing
for a while
quirks
ago,
with Chris,
a
that
long
it was
while ago.
statistically impossible that they were different people.
When they still were
Nightstar confided that she was not Chris and was in fact a Miss
many
and
shops
could
that
possibly explain the similarities
sold
of writing
physical
style
games.
because both she and
I remember
Christine
getting
were well read
cool
and eloquent.
bargains. There was basically a
Miss
bin
further wrote that she
full of
grew up
older
in
games that
Richmond,
weren't really
Virginia,
selling
and
much,
graduated
reduced
with a
to
degree in
ridiculous amounts
psychological
sometimes.
arts from the University
What
of
was it?
Virginia, and currently worked at several McDonald's in the area.
Okay, Phoenix. The
On
Total War
occasion, she
Rome,
conversed
the
with
first
Christine
one.
at
I got for
McDonald's
like,
and found her to be a very kind
it
and
was actually before we had Euro,
understanding
wasn't it?
person.
Yeah, it
Nightstar
was
was so
probably.
hurt that so
Maybe
many
shortly
people
after, I don't remember
misunderstood her
completely.
intentions after the National
But then I
Girlfriend's
have
Day tweet.
bought my first
Miss
game in,
AS
you know,
wrote that
EM,
she was into
in Deutsche
examining
Mark,
the mental state of
way,
others
way,
from
way
what they
back.
drew,
But
created, and the media
probably
they
was
consumed.
already Euros.
She felt
It
that
came
Marvin's
2001 or so,
persona was
wasn't
racially
it?
conscious
Yeah,
and a
that
little
should be Euros.
religious based
But
on
for
the
like
media
basically
they
like
shared on
$5
Twitter,
or so.
and that was as old-fashioned as Donald Trump. Marvin
Pretty
felt
good
that if it were
times.
Chris behind the
Mostly
account,
because
they
most
could
of
have
these
been saving
combined
help
stores had no
on account of
actual
Nightstar
idea,
using
just, you
unusual
know,
terminology,
what to do with the
like
games, and they
racial
weren't selling well
concepts.
because nobody bought them
On August 7th,
in the
Nightstar account
general
messaged
stores.
back Marvin's account with
So
screencaps
when
of
they had
Nightstar's
a bit
messages
extra
to
stock,
Christine's account.
you knew,
Chris told
just
the
wait a
alleged
bit
Miss
and you could get
ES
them.
to
It was
not
basically, you
talk
know,
with the
the
trolls
old-fashioned
that
way
did
of
not
a Steam
control her
sale, or
and would
waiting
not
for a
judge
Steam
her
sale to
on
get
her
something
bad
you love, wanna
actions,
have.
but her good deeds,
Damn,
like she
good
did with
times.
Doopy. Chris elaborated to Nightstar on why Doopy
Especially because
felt
it's, you know, stuff
uncomfortable
like
with
special
Chris
editions
sharing
with
screencaps of the
special
posts
patching, and
Doopy
they
wrote
threw
on
that
Doopy
all in there,
forums.
like, no
As
one's
an
business.
aside, on August 1st at 3 a.m., Chris wanted to pledge $50 per month to her
Those were the
half-brother Cole
days.
Smithy's Patreon account,
Those
only
were
to
the good
find
days.
that he had blocked her from contributing. Then she went to Doopy Do-Over's Patreon to try and raise her pledge amount from $25 to $50 for the month, but saw that her $25 pledge for August had already been collected and was unable to raise it. She then sent an extra $25 directly to Doopy, writing that by doing so, she could receive the benefits of the $50 tier. In reference to Doopy discussing the backlash she would be getting, Chris wrote that the artist found the backlash of being friends with Christine worse than being associated with the so-called damn
okay.
uncouth trolling stupids.
Actually,
She
probably
wrote
the best
that she would
opportunity
have
to wait for the
continued to
fucking
be kind
Zeppelin,
to
because that
Doopy
gave
as
me
a
the
friend,
opportunity
since she
to,
knew that Doopy had a boyfriend,
you know,
because she had matured
opportunity.
mentally and emotionally, and unlike the trolls claimed, Chris never expected sex. Upon
good
researching
opportunity
the
to
Twitter account's
prepare a
claims,
pipe.
members of the QE forums saw that the top bars of the mobile screenshots provided by both Christine and Nightstar contained mobile carrier information and other active utilities that matched, and that both Twitter accounts were registered to phone numbers with matching final 2 digits. Also, when attempting to change the password of the Nightstar account, a confirmation email would be sent to an email address that was for the most part censored to those attempting to hack it. However, from the few characters that were shown, it was almost certainly confirmed to match a little-known email address found in a leaked email Chris had written to a gal pal in 2014, volcanoinsuranceidiot@yahoo.com.
Okay, insurance idiot.
Furthermore, the handle Nightstar2891 contained Chris's year of birth backwards. Publicly, when asked, the Nightstar account
Not very
denied
creative
that it was
there, Chris.
Christine. After persistent pestering, Chris herself then chimed in to state publicly that she was not Nightstar 2891.
That's gonna convince people.
On August 8th,
You yourself
Chris
chime
posted
in
a
on
photo
yourself.
of her cat Lucy to commemorate International Cat Day. To dispel rumors, she then added that her other cat, Sorbet, was still alive and well. Soon after, she posted a photo of Sorbet.
Ooh, there's the kitty
sitting on
again.
her
Let me
bed.
take a check. Look. Sorbet, you have become pretty damn pale, actually. Or maybe that's just because the lighting is different. Yeah, I kind of figured that eye is definitely... Well, if it's not blind, I don't think it's seeing much out of it. Poor kitty. I was kind of suspecting it would not just get better, but you know... I'll feel bad for the poor kitties. Little Sorbet. Not the most creative naming sense I've ever heard, but you know, I'm okay with that. Apropos, speaking of the kitties, has mine? Yes, mine has managed to close the door. You know, my kitty's very smart. It's like, yes, let me close that door. It's totally not like my, you know, toilet is on the other side of that door. And when it's closed, I'm too stupid to open it again. So, I will just wait for the loading screen to pass. Then I'll quickly jump up and open the door again so the kitty can go do its business when it wants to, because otherwise that kitty would have an excuse to shit all over my floor, but probably he wouldn't. He's smart enough to start sitting in front of the door and screaming loudly at me if I don't take care of it for a while. But, you know, that has happened once or twice in the past when I didn't react fast enough, that he then looked for a small nice corner and pissed somewhere, and I kind of would like to avoid that. For obvious reasons, mind you. Yes. Now then. Where are we going? Oh yeah, to the Undercity to take the fucking bed down to... I think we need to go to Terrence Mill to learn tailoring, and we need to go to Arasi to farm some elements for the...
The next day, Chris
yeah,
claimed
for my
that an
Warlock
Emily,
quest.
who was allegedly responsible for the Nightstar Twitter account, saw her at McDonald's that morning and came a run-in because she was scared off from all the trollsome allegations that her Twitter account was run by Christine. Chris blamed the trolls for ruining nearly everything.
It's always
In
the troll's
meantime,
fault.
Chris watched
Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
videos in an
Hello,
attempt to learn how
decorations.
to communicate with the dead, predict the future, and
I remember back
levitate.
then being very confused
On August
because, you know,
11th,
Halloween
Chris
is
wrote,
not really a
I'm
thing
sleepy as fuck, but
in
falling
Germany.
asleep,
That
I'm out of
technically
luck.
speaking still not is really a thing.
Doot.
But
On that same day,
I remember when I
in
was
response to a
playing WoW, the
Patreon
person was
comment
really confused what
criticizing
all of
Chris
that
Chan
nonsense is
Sonichu for
supposed to
having
be.
two, quote-unquote,
I mean, I've
tumors
maybe
on
seen
his
it
chest.
passing
Chris tweeted,
in
"Take that batch
a
of
movie.
hay and put them in some apples.
I had
Eat
no
your
idea.
candles, dumbasses.
You should have to look that up.
My breasts are real.
Good times.
I am woman.
Very
Never
good
tell
times.
me otherwise, haters." Here's a good thought. Cyberbullies are the tumors of humanity and the world. They
As
should
I
cut
know.
themselves out. I do not have tumors, dummies. Also on August 11th, Chris
Did you
arrived
check
at
with
the
her doctor
Baltimore
about
Convention
that?
Center in Baltimore, Maryland, for her
I'm just,
3-day stay
you know,
at BronyCon, a
asking.
convention focused on the My Little Pony franchise.
I kind of figured
According
going
to
off her
Kiwi
name.
Farms user Love You Long Time, the troll behind the Kim Wilson persona, notified forum readers that Christine drove herself to Baltimore and was staying at a hotel with supposed lady friends. A Facebook friend wrote that she would be ready to assist Chris's mother Barbara if need be. Among the possessions which she brought with
look,
her
it's a little
were
Walter.
original copies
Welcome,
of the Sonichu
Walter.
comics, snacks,
See you being
and
as
My Little Pony
Cyrillic as
figurines.
usual.
Many photographs
Nice
of
of
her
you to
were
drop by,
posted
though.
on Twitter and Facebook.
Oh, look at that
mingling
giant
with
pumpkin.
other attendees, while
Right in the
prominently
throne
wearing
room.
pink feline ears and a strap-on unicorn horn. On the first day, Chris met Kathy Wesseluck, a voice actress from the TV show, and posed for an autograph with her, with Kathy holding up a copy of Sonichu Issue 0, which she had autographed. According to Claire Porter, a follower of Chris Chan whom she met at the convention,
little Walter.
Chris
I'm
talked
sure you're
to
meaning well.
Kathy for close to 25 minutes,
I'm absolutely convinced
discussing
of that.
topics involving Sonichu and Quickville. Claire added that the voice actress showed Chris friendship and support, albeit treating her like a child. On the second day, she attended a panel discussion.
Well, what can I say
titled
about
Keeping Friendship Magic,
good for you?
The
I'm
Art
sorry,
Going Out.
the combination somewhere in
Afterwards,
between
when
notes,
asked for an
basically.
autograph, Chris signed a piece of paper which purportedly stated that she relinquished her soul to the individual who asked for an autograph. The person who got it
Where's the
also
fly man?
covertly
There's the
recorded
fly man.
audio
Hey,
of
Batman.
Christine's conversation
I mean,
with
he's quite
himself
literally
and
the
another attendee
Batman.
discussing some recent pages from her comics.
We need to go there, we need to go there. Let's first go to Terrence Mill and try to learn tailoring, because I'm pretty sure the next tailor master is in the church in Terrence Mill. I have probably leveled up tailoring too much in the past, if I still remember that. I needed to look that up. Good times. Good times. Let me actually make a bit of a try.
I was wondering, it's not too much trouble. Could I, oh, I'd love a selfie. But if I could get an autograph, I'd love that too.
Okay, I'll give you an autograph with my own pen.
Oh, you have your own?
Another convention goer reported on their encounter with her on the My Little Pony forum on the image board site 4chan. I played poker against her in the tournament, and she got really, really fucking mad when I accidentally called her him.
It
I
does
never
look
cared
well.
to call someone by their shitty preferred gender,
all is
but fuck
well
you
in the
got to
world
give me
of,
some time to figure out what you fucking want to be
language
called.
barriers, I
It was a
suppose.
paired tournament, so we didn't have a choice who we played.
Ah,
and she
Halloween.
can't play worth a shit.
Such a strange tradition, isn't it? I really wonder how it became to be such a thing.
I met her again at the gala, and she's been glaring at me. Lol.
Yeah, it's interesting,
Another
isn't
person
it?
more knowledgeable of her recounted their experience with
What a
me
strange
and Chris.
combination
I
we
found
make.
Chris at a panel and gained his trust. I asked him if his Sonichu medallion was authentic,
little Walter.
and he said, "I am the she that
I
used
mean,
to
you
be
know,
that he
I'm grateful
that,"
that he drops by.
and then quickly showed me the first
Sure,
edition of Sonichu.
you know, hearts
Then
of
he
hearts,
shook
we're
my hand for some reason.
we are, you know,
First I
communicating.
met Kelly Sheridan,
In our hearts of
voice
hearts.
actress for the character
Yes,
Starlight
that's
Glimmer,
what I'm going to claim
who
at least.
signed one of Chris's illustrations and took a photo with her, holding up a figure of the character she
use a fresh
voiced,
carcass at the
while Chris
flame
held
of
up her
Uzo.
customized figurine.
I
made to
don't
look
really
like
want to do
herself.
that, though.
Chris was then spotted at Bronypalooza, a My Little Pony themed concert.
Not yet feeling
She
it,
then made her way
basically.
to the Grand Galloping Gala, a formal dance party. She was filmed
probably
conversing
actually
with
better
some
to
of the
go
other
from
convention
here, isn't it?
attendees and posing for photos.
I mean, if I go there... yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass no matter where I go, isn't it? Shit.
After failing to find a dance partner, Chris then began seemingly dancing with an imaginary person, later claiming that she was dancing with her original character, Magi-chan Sonichu.
Well, I'm not surprised. Talking about Chris after all.
What is it? Watch your back.
Okay, can't learn from him yet. Where the fuck do I learn the next level of fucking tailoring then?
She was also photographed, sitting
Actually,
by
what would the
herself,
next level be?
supposedly talking and reaching
Nah.
out to Magi-chan next to her.
That
After the
would
event concluded,
be
Chris went back to her car
expert?
to drive back to the hotel for the night.
Let me quickly Google
However,
it.
the parking lot where she parked had closed at midnight, and she was unable to enter. She resorted to using the ride-hailing service, Uber, to help her get back to her hotel. On the third and final day, Christine apparently shared a ride with other convention-goers from the hotel to make their way back to BronyCon. She then attended a fan comment
Yeah, I
panel.
see.
A 4chan user posted a selfie he took with her and wrote of Chris's
Oh, there's a
behavior.
YouTube video for that. Well, that's gonna make
He's in
this
the fan
easy.
project panel now. He spent
He's in
3
fucking
minutes
Undercity,
complaining
are
about
you
his
kidding
trolls
me?
and how autistic he is, and he turned away the microphone so no one can hear what he's saying. Another unknown user elaborated on Chris's time at the panel.
That's on me, isn't it?
It was
Well,
at
I'll
Fan
take the fucking
Project
punishment
panel,
of lying
and
back
he
there.
then asked a question and rambled on about how he had comics and fandom.
I really want to get
but
that
never
out of the way
explicitly
because
stated
I have a tendency
it
to
was
forget
Sonichu.
that, and then later on
He
I
even
just
said the
start doing
high-functioning
tailoring,
autistic line.
wondering why I don't get
He also
any
mentioned
more
being
points.
controlled, not having many friends, and all
Being an
that,
idiot.
and honestly felt kinda bad for him, though most of the shit he has gotten over the years was his own self-inflicted stupidity, so can't feel too bad for him.
That should be
But yeah,
in...
that's been the weirdest thing at this
the
convention
other
by a
ones are.
long shot.
Okay.
Like at most 5 to 10% of the thousands of people.
Then we
I've
run
seen
from
and heard
Terrence
were
Mill all
weird
the way
or cringy,
over,
but nearly
then we
everyone here
learn-
is either normal or
Then
just
we actually
standard
learn the next
nerds.
level of
But seeing and hearing
fucking...
Chris Chan, dear God,
That's-
that was hard to deal with.
Now we need 225.
Afterwards, she went to another panel featuring voice actors from the cartoon series and managed to ask them a question.
Where's my Hearthstone at the moment? Ah, free run post still. Fuck. That's...
Y'all did answer part of my question. Starting with, you know,
That's my stupidity, to be fair.
I did sing ad-lib and impulsive, so obviously you do get opportunities to play. have you done so far are your personal favorite?
What?
Naturally, I like kites.
Is that a question for all of us?
At the end of the day, she made a short tweet writing that she was on her way back home, allegedly riding alongside Magi-chan. When she got back, she wrote a Facebook post thanking everyone who attended the convention for all the love and kindness they showed for her,
Did I
making
miss?
it
Hello there,
possible
little
for her
strategy
to
member.
shine
You
as the
missed
actual
not
queen
much.
and the
To give you the Reader's Digest version of what has happened. We've started around 5-6 minutes, I think. So, you know, around here. Those last 25 minutes. Chris went to the BronyCon again and, well, did things. Doopy was like, meh. Missed much. But yeah, indeed. Little Doopy character, I still kinda like. Seems a reasonable character for once, although, you know, I kinda had to correct her, him, whatever, them, I don't even give a shit. On one thing, that is when it comes to customers. Depending on how much your customer is willing to pay you, a bit of creep is something you will just have to live with, basically. Because, you know, money fucking talks louder than most annoyances after a certain point. But apart from that, I wholeheartedly agree that, you know, Christine is the sort of customer you don't really want to have. I really do mean that. Because, yeah... where's the mage quarters? There's the mage quarters. And, well, that's basically where we are at the moment. Chris being Chris and getting all annoyed that people partly harass Doopy, which is not really happening, I suppose. At least I haven't seen it happening. More like somebody putting it, why do you really want to associate with this person? You know, knowing of the past, Chris is a pretty good indicator that you probably don't want to be associated with him. It's a fair point, a very fair point. That's basically all. Well, let's continue. Also, how are your little strategy? Feeling good?
She stated that her time in BronyCon was the most love
can
she had
finally-
ever felt in her life. On August 14th,
Okay,
she
we have
made a
that out
Captain's
of
log
our
for
minds.
YouTube, addressing the convention
God
while
bloody
still
damn
wearing
it.
her cat ears and unicorn horn.
Nice.
Captain's log. Start
Not so busy any longer, I hope.
142017.
No, yourself.
Last weekend, BronyCon. Awesome, totally awesome.
Yeah, but
I had an
you know, it
awesome
was last week. Why
time.
are you still wearing
I
that
found- I
horn
met so
strapped to
many
your,
kind people. I
you know, pet?
found so
I-
much
I
positivity and
would ask.
love. I made new friends and acquaintances in higher places.
Also, I cleaned up my little bank
I've attended
account.
some
Look at that, it's all
panels
smooth and clean. Also, we have bigger bags
And I
now.
learned a lot
I made that
too.
myself.
I have so many new
Good
lovely
times.
memories and ideas. I am so
quickly.
inspired.
Trust no.
Now we fly over, we kill some
So,
elements for
here's
this
a little
one.
Twilight from
Then
the
we
future
go back
to tell us
down
a little bit
south, collect the
about
thread,
the
then we
future
have that done.
Beside you and me
And then...
and everything.
what then?
First off,
For once I actually have a bit extra
Book
time,
13.
mostly because I need to stream now,
Or
because I have to
something
go to bed
called
really
Book
early today.
12-9.
When do I have to get
Which
up
will round
tomorrow?
up to 13 because I don't like using 13.
Since I'm actually going to be at
It's an unlucky
another
number.
store,
At least
not
to
the
me,
same one I
yes,
was in before,
superstitious.
then I have to
Oh,
get up like 3,
future
3:30 in the morning in order to
character
get ready and get there in time.
I came
Start
back
the
from
early
the
shift.
future in number 10.
Meaning, you know,
Came back from the future. She
Very
comes back from
early.
the future. It works. Anyway.
but oh
so,
well, I
first
ain't
off,
gonna
book
complain.
12-9.
Works work, and this is all for a purpose.
I never wanted the 13th
Oh, look at that, it's a short one. Well, I'll drink to that one.
Have
Also,
newer
since I now have very many new tame,
character do,
very tame
and that
emotes,
happened.
which
Oh well.
is actually okay, like 3 of them. I
It's
kinda
alright.
figured they would.
We'll put the eye patch back on and fix it up.
Basically, if I give them really
And
nothing to
originally,
complain
the
about,
idea would have been
I get my emotes, but I feel like I die inside whenever I do that. Because that's really not what I wanted to get.
crossover. Wow,
A few of them are still
actually, in
pending,
the
but I'm
Quickville
reasonably
universe,
sure that most of them will
this
pass through apart from maybe
has
one.
actually happened, but
So yeah, there's that good
because
news, at
the
least on one
difficulties
front,
with
but
the
you know,
most
it
heartfelt
kills me.
tweet that I
I'm not
did
really
recently
considering myself much of an
that
artist, mind you,
backfired
but
on me. My heart
when I
was
create
really
something,
into that.
I
My
get
heart
that
has always been
blatantly
in the
rejected
right
for no good
place.
reason.
Try to
That does
understand
piss
that,
me off, to
everybody,
be fair.
okay?
That happens rarely, mind you. I'll remember this for the future.
My brain's a little slow right now. I have so many ideas.
Just like I give
and
up on
everything.
Chris. Yeah, just take a look.
So many good
Imagine,
news.
just for a second, the first impression you get of Chris is this picture. Just this still picture of him sitting there. With the fucking unicorn horn, the fake ears and whatnot. My first reaction to seeing it would also be just like, okay, I don't know who you are, but I give up. I don't think there's much hope for you, because if that's how you present yourself to the public, you've lost that life. Quite a bit, my friend. But the problem is, we now, don't think about the medallion, and don't think about the dirty, dirty places that I've seen. Yeah, even if this is, if you are in the unfortunate situation like we are, where you actually know more about Chris and what he has done, and you know what a fucking piece of shit he is. Honestly, that's what he is. You really don't feel any sort of mercy for what is happening to him. Because, let's be honest here, he's an asshole. A giant asshole. He treats people like shit. He doesn't even understand the idea of what a partnership with a, member he has a sex would include. That it's not just him getting fucking cuddled, but that he also would need to actually do some cuddling, and that is, a very simple way of saying something that is a lot more complex, because it is a lot of give and take that usually is required there. It's amazing. It's amazing. Then the fact that I kind of made this point yesterday, but I don't think, Terry, you were there, so let me just quickly repeat my point. And Chris was reminding me that how he treats people that do fan art. He gets a nice piece of fan art, a pretty good one actually. I'm not saying it's professional, but for a piece of fan art, fucking amazing. Actually, all fan art is fucking amazing when you think about it. And started bitching on like, yeah, this is all nice and dandy, but I could need a bit more work and you're a bit imprecise. And I was sitting there like, bitch, please. Fucking getting fan art. That's amazing. Like, if I ever get even one piece of fan art for anything that I have ever done in my life, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna fucking laminate it and put it on my fucking wall or something. Because that's pretty cool. Because it is fucking pretty cool. Just genuine gratefulness for actually somebody taking fucking time out of their busy scheduling and whatnot to sit down and do something like that for fucking free. Yeah, sure, I'll be fucking happy. But no, not Chris. Chris is special. Chris is so fucking special. Shut up, Chris. Just remembering that makes me annoyed every single time. Then that whole patron thing. I mean, if the 2B character has a patron and you get different tiers where you can get actually art and you get that actually delivered to you, or, you can commission art and you get actually your art. That seems like a pretty good deal to me, especially because it was like $25 for the black and white one or something. I don't remember the prices. That doesn't really matter. That's how you do patron, if I had anything to say about it. You actually deliver on what you promise. Not like Christian. Chris promises the world, delivers nothing, and then starts begging for more money. Amazing. The fact that this guy is still around is
Bear with me. I'll find it. I'll get
really
it back on
amazing.
the rails.
In many, many ways. None of them good. So please put down the fucking one. You look ridiculous.
What do you think is the next announcement, Flufflepuff?
Maybe that he's finally going to put the horn down.
Come on. You know better than that. You know better than that.
Chris.
Main event knows better than that.
It's nine, it's nine.
No script.
I forgot about this person. This is the person we did the dungeon with. Now, let's take a look at the elite mobs here and see if we actually have a good chance.
My dogs are barking at something that's outside.
And yeah, I can probably deal with this quest. This question. I kind of want to get it out of my fucking
out of
my fucking quest book, because my quest book is bloody full.
She's gonna have to wait a moment.
29 is probably something I can deal with. I'm not saying it's gonna be good.
everything in my thoughts and it's all good.
Let's see how much
I
damage
love
I'll actually take
everybody.
if I just do it
I
normally.
do. From the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, elites.
A lot of you have been able to see that I finally was able to present that
Okay,
personally.
this is going to be
to a
painful if I
lot
do it like this,
of
isn't it?
friends and people that I was able to make.
Well, you can probably do it like this, it's just painful.
Awesome!
Really painful to do. Because I basically would have to heal after every bloody
It felt
mob.
so good. I'm gonna carry this with me forever. And I'm not gonna just
Chris,
be like,
come on. Don't make
oh,
this strange.
yes,
I
you're
know
gonna
you have a
be
tendency
kind
to just
me.
do that,
I'm
but
thankful
please,
for
for
your
once.
kindness. Now go get me some coffee. That's not
swear to
me.
God.
That's not me.
I'm just happy that he
Okay?
hasn't shown his fucking
I
Dakimakura
have
again, because,
emotionally
you know,
and mentally
that is
heartfelt,
one of those
soulfelt,
persons where I'm like, you
matured,
really,
grown.
really shouldn't take the fucking
I'm
nice,
thankful
pleasant
and
word
blessed
of fucking waifu
to
in
have
your
been able
bloody
to
dirty
show
mouth.
that
The love of
over the
fucking
past
God.
weekend to a whole lot of people touch
Okay.
me. I
Shame
get to
bitch.
touch them, make
She
them
lupul there.
smile. We made each other smile. It was a great thing. Anyway, that's it for this live stream. Look forward to the next one, which hopefully
Yeah,
will
what a
be
long, long live stream.
Q&A laptop. Christine Chandler, Tanchin Rochu, City of Quickville.
Oh, that's not
Had a
good.
fantastic
Oh, that's
BronyCon
not good.
weekend. I
Oh,
look
that's
forward
not
to
good.
seeing y'all again, or talk to y'all sooner.
Takibus, follow me! We need to escape!
See y'all next year. Love it. Have a great, safe,
Actually,
blessed
pretty
day.
damn amazing that
Stay
she
well.
actually manages apparently
Stay
to act normal,
Stay
quote unquote,
heartfelt
enough.
positive.
He doesn't get fucking thrown out of the fucking BronyCon thing. I would assume that that would happen, but
On August 15th, the
apparently he
Twitter
manages to
account
keep himself together long enough.
Nightstar2891 posted a handwritten letter from Chris. Dearest people, confession time. Originally intended for laying low and to keep a distant bond, still on a few hurt individuals I like and cared about after that one tweet wonder mess. This Twitter account, @Nightstar2891, is me, Christine Chandler.
Nobody is surprised.
Again, that mentioned tweet was truly with my heart in the right place to share appreciation for and of the women I've been able to make contact and acquaintance with. Then some other people took wrongful attack upon them at my expense. I felt terrible about that. 2 of them blocked me, but Hater informed in that. I pray they will unblock and open up to me again soon. This also is
I
reflected
sincerely
in
hope
MOP Season
they
7,
don't.
episode Fame and Misfortune. The main 6, or 5 of them, were not used to being criticized overly by fan ponies, as well as misread and misunderstood. I, too, felt all this as early 2007. I'm popular, and I don't like it, said Applejack, and how Rarity overreacted. Fluttershy having to explain herself repeatedly. All that was me, and it took a long time to adjust and become resistant to the hate. I am in control of how these various reactions to my Sonichu and self content make me feel and react. I try to not let the critics get to me anymore.
Its
But to everyone
realization took you
affected by
fucking
the
long.
misunderstood tweet of mine, you all have control
You
to not
can't
let the
control what
haters and
people
trolls
say.
affect you at all.
Can't control,
Two,
you know, how hateful or
this
not
Nightstar
they
Twitter
be.
was a Lalo
You have
alternative
no
for
influence
me
of that.
after that
But
fiasco.
you do have
I was not
influence,
originally going to tweet
obviously.
from it. Then one of the trolls contacted me. I was tempted
Is
to
how you
troll
actually
the trolls
take
now.
it, how you
Dumb
react to it.
Me. Pfft.
Interesting,
But
isn't
the
it?
trolls,
But that
on their
works.
forum, have admitted to being well confused.
Means that you
with my
don't need to be a
character's
fucking little
creation of
bitch
this
every
Richmond
single
gal
time
with
something
a
doesn't go
UVA
your way.
degree, working around and around. I can be quite the actress, even in simulating other fonts from other people.
You lie
Regardless,
out of your
lying
ass
all
often
that is
enough,
wrong
but
of
you
me,
really are not
and
good
I'm
at
sorry
it.
for lying in this. And because I was finally able to share at BronyCon with a lot of people, I am, by default, a kind, understanding, compassionate, heart in
Stop
the right place person
lying,
and
you are not...
and I enjoy sharing genuine, pleasant smiles, moments,
You have no
and
idea what it
memories
means
with
to be an
others,
actual,
and my heart
genuinely
is
kind
open.
person.
I would delight in all of us putting this Twitter mishap set behind us and moving on towards being better people. Thank you, sincerely, and with all my heart, with love. I'm sorry.
Go
Miss
fuck yourself,
Christine W.
Chris.
Chandler.
Your excuses have never been
BronyCon made
sincere and
Christine
it
feel loved and
fucking
accepted
never
due to the nature
changed.
of the attendees generally maintaining an air of acceptance and kindness, though often it was a merely face value courtesy.
Yeah,
Riding high on
obviously.
waves of happiness, Christine would soon be met with dark clouds once again.
That's what events really happen to be like that, usually. I mean, it's basically now a meeting of people, I don't know, really say like-minded, but like interested, basically.
Let's get this party started.
Of course, they will generally be relatively accepting of you because, well, they assume that you're like them. I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing, mind you.
Still recharging.
What made her this way? What is the attraction?
Yep, this quest is
What
going to be
keeps us
cancerously
fascinated?
slow.
This is the story of Christian.
I can reasonably kill one of them. Two would probably be stretching and just going off my fucking mana after one fight. And we probably can't get to the captain, honestly, because I'm pretty sure the captain is... yeah.
During the middle of August
I mean, maybe they
2017,
dropped the sword,
Christine
that
wrote
would
many
help.
tweets on the social media site Twitter, mentioning and referencing the animated series
to get
My Little
closer.
Pony and its voice actors, still expressing joy and love for all in the aftermath of her attendance at the BronyCon convention.
I mean, yes, we
On the
get it, you
16th,
enjoyed that.
In response to a tweet concerning
Probably
voice
because
actors,
people didn't
Tabitha
judge
St.
you
John
immediately.
blocking Chris on the site. St.
Nice,
John
isn't it?
replied that she blocked Chris not because of her, but because of the cloud of trolls which followed her, calling the practice parasitic behavior.
Isn't ready yet.
In response, Christine, using her Nightstar 2891 account, replied to Tabitha via a long string of tweets, saying that after being trolled for
Come
years,
back, Succubus.
she learned to not take
Nice.
their words to heart and keep them out of her mind. She added that at BronyCon, she was allowed to express herself with kindness
And we got the sword.
and managed to receive some advice regarding
Okay,
the trolls
we'll
from
take
the
that as
voice
a win
actresses
because
she
this
met.
is just...
She revealed that coming
But
out
we'll
as a
come back.
lesbian trans woman resulted in her
Maybe
being
at
kind to herself
39.
more and had learned to be unfazed by the trolls.
Maybe.
Chris wrote that she wouldn't ask Tabitha to unblock her main account, but would like to have the opportunity to connect every now
Because
and then.
otherwise... I mean,
with the
sure, if
chance to
somebody would
perhaps
be
earn her
around
trust as a
trying this
friend.
quest right now, I'd be like, yep,
Tabitha
yep,
St.
yep,
Germain
yep.
soon also blocked Chris's Nightstar
But we'll not
account.
do this alone.
On August 18th,
Let's kill a
Christine
few
wrote on
elements
Patreon
and then
that
we'll
pre-printed
be
Sonichu comic books meant
on
to
our
be
way,
delivered
basically,
to her paying patrons
back
had
south.
arrived at her house, but she was unable to ship them yet.
And then I
since
wonder
funds
where
were
I'll
low
go.
because she had gone
I haven't
to
really decided where
BronyCon.
we're gonna do some
She
questing
informed
yet.
her
I'm
supporters that it could take around
vaguely
2 weeks for
following
the
the
comics
old-
to be sent.
basically
The
a
next
combination
day,
of old guides
she
I've
became a
read at one
patron for
point,
My Little Pony voice
which are kinda
actress
stuck with me.
Michelle Kreber.
but it's really not set in
At
stone,
this point,
basically.
it was around a week since the Unite the Right rally was held in Charlottesville, a gathering of white supremacists and neo-Nazis.
Oh yeah, I
Possibly
forgot,
on
I wanted
August
to make myself a
20th,
nice little
Chris attended a church service
shot
while still wearing
into
her
a
pony
stone.
ears and unicorn horn from her time at BronyCon. Her outfit apparently upset some parishioners, and after she came back home, she wrote a letter aimed at Kathy Weseluck, voice actress from My Little
I
Pony,
mean,
whom
maybe
she met at
not
the
go
convention.
outside.
Chris took a picture of the letter
Like that?
and posted it on Twitter, mentioning the voice actress and asking for her advice regarding the church incident. I've had a day that started out happy and delightful. I felt like donning my pony ears and unicorn horn and
And in that moment, we should already realize that is not a good idea. It might be one of the sadder things, but people are pretty damn easy, you know? We like some form of conformity. You see some random stranger outside wearing a fucking, you know, pony ear. Pony unicorn, very special case. You know, if it's a child, a small child, I'd be like, okay, that's still kinda okay, yes. Go ahead, enjoy your fantasies, you're still a child. A grown as fucking man done this particular sort of clothing items. Yeah, it's gonna leave a certain not too good impression, I'd say. Wonder, I know. The fact that he doesn't even realize that might potentially end up making a bad expression is...
hail to my church today. I've made a lot of people smile, and it was as normal
Yes.
as could be. with my
They
shirt
smile
choice from BronyCon
because they look at
2017.
you and go like,
During a Bible verse reading, my church friend suddenly burst out in tears.
Shit, I
felt
forgot about
along
this.
with her, the hate bout in Charlottesville, Virginia last weekend. Then, my pastoral consoler, who was part of the choir this week, hands me a note. Please remove your headgear. It's reminding us of Nazis, specifically the not Nazi jesters who mocked the haters. I felt utter shock.
My
I removed
little
my
thing is
headgear,
useless.
and I tensed up, fanning myself with the program as I was feeling hot.
Because this
I
stuff
ended up
does
closing
fire
myself
damage,
and
doesn't
breaking
it?
out in tears
Yeah.
myself, being forced to remove
I knew this
what
would
made
happen
and
to me
most
at some
other people
point.
Smile, feeling like not being able to calm a post-about-it crowd. The empathy for my friend and not being able to make her smile just about killed my mood. I sat there,
God damn it.
fanning myself with my right, gripping the bench with my left, and paralyzed. I stayed a while longer.
I mean, we
Then
can
I
kill them
left
still,
during the
but
collection
yeah,
with the
it's gotta be a
plates.
bit more of a
I
pain.
took a rest
Luckily,
and
we
some
only need 2
Valium after I
coals.
got
We
back
should
home.
get those
I feel some
hopefully
recovered, but
easily
feel some
enough.
mild headache now. Have y'all ever heard such a thing? Pony ears and unicorn horn being reminiscent of an anti-Nazi jester? I've never, and I meant no harm. What are your thoughts, Kathy?
And this is not gonna
Thank
work,
you
is
for
it?
listening.
Yeah.
Christine W. Chandler. Kathy Wessel failed to respond. On August 21st, Christine uploaded 2 videos on YouTube of her view of the solar eclipse, which was witnessed across the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Hello everyone on the internet, this is Christine Chandler coming to you live from home once again.
Where
right
else would you
outside
be?
waiting for
Yes,
the solar
yes.
eclipse. I look up at it, the sun through my special glasses I got with the little guidebook. It looks like a crescent,
I mean, I found coal,
crescent
but I
sun.
need special coal, don't I?
like it's grinning down
Smoldering
on us.
coal, to be precise.
And as you can see from the noise making, that's my little boy, Chope. He's alive and well. What?
The poor kitty, though. That really doesn't sound healthy.
Video closer to
Poor
when the
kitty.
eclipse actually happens.
Poor
So
kitty.
stay tuned. Thank
Very
you.
poor kitty. I actually have some very mild feelings of, you know,
We are approaching so much closer
sadness for poor kitty.
to the eclipse over here, live above our heads. It is smiling down upon us, the sun. I'd say just like in all Equestria, Celestia, smiling down while Luna's covering her. Eventually, at one point, in a few minutes, it's gonna become total blackness out here, and you'll be already able to see my face, my head. But when the eclipse happens, I'm gonna do something very special. I'm sure a lot of people are probably gonna do it as well. But it's like total eclipse of the heart. Just heart emotion.
Ooh, Spanish is a suddenly
Art
exile.
and poetry.
Remember that having
And for everyone,
reason to exist?
After
I just don't remember
this
what's off
happened,
the top of my head.
they get to watch me enjoy this as well.
There was something to do this.
'Cause I know
but
I'm
I forgot.
recording this, I'm not streaming from my phone.
Oh
You know
well,
why?
I'm sure it's not
Because
important.
somebody might call me and interrupt the streaming. We don't want that. Now,
Ah,
do
shit,
it.
misclicked.
We do not. Oh! Look at that though. See that dark cloud? You can see the grin without needing glasses. That's a moment in perfection right there. What are you
Mm-hmm.
doing driving? The eclipse is happening. There's a passing by vehicle right now. Yeah, I think I'm doing a little throw off as the curve was to my left. Now it's to my right. Hi, Mom. Just a moment. Yeah. I think. Yeah, the book did say we were
I
getting
mean,
a
I guess I can
partial
attack it with my
eclipse.
sword.
I think that's all we were having. Oh well. At least in this neck of the woods, we had a constant smile down upon us from the sun. Christine Chandler coming to you live from home. Y'all have a great, safe day.
Yes. More
In
often than
response
not.
to comments of concern for Serbia's
Surprisingly
health
enough, you're at
condition,
home.
Chris wrote on Twitter that the vet informed her that the cat's breathing problem was permanent. Later that day, Chris handwrote a letter from My Little Pony voice actress Kelly Sheridan and tagged her in a tweet which featured a photo of it. In the letter, Chris
Kinda
wrote
forgot that
that
I
in
haven't trained my
response to what the
sword in
voice
a while.
actors had said in the Changing Your Mark panel, artists like them could offer creative and thoughtful feedback in their abilities and expand their repertoire of skills. Chris herself had taken up basic cooking skills, as learning new skills can help keep the mind more active and able during the aging process. She also had binge-watched a lot of cartoons and anime in her lifetime, a trait purportedly held in common by both her and Kelly. She closed the letter with an account describing the
point
naming
out that you
process behind
most
one of the Pokemon she had in the
likely
game
have not watched
Pokemon
nearly as
Ruby
much
or
anime as I have
Sapphire.
in my time, but well.
On August 23rd, Chris tweeted 2 photos of her miniature
gonna start
figurine
the
of
debate.
My Little Pony character, Spike the Dragon, seemingly reading
Probably not a good idea to start any debate with
of
Chris.
Sonichu issue 0, with the front cover redesigned to replace Christian with Nightstar. On August 24th, Christine wrote on Facebook that she had allegedly overheard a conversation between her pony character, Nightstar, and My Little Pony's Lyra Heartstrings, positing the origin of how she got her cutie mark of a lyre on her hind, possibly by ascending into the heavens and meeting their god character, then descended back to the land of Equestria and learned of the magic to walk on clouds and the anthropology. The next day, Chris posted the cover image of the upcoming comic book, Sonichu, issue 12-9, on Patreon, which would star her custom pony character, Nightstar, and would for the time being be considered as My Little Pony fanfiction, with hopes of it becoming canon to the official storyline.
Yeah,
Chris
sure.
elaborated on the comic's concept in the description. Introducing Nightstar of Equestria, a unique unicorn with the ability to open dimension portals to
Well,
view
one
into
smoldering
and visit
coal.
other dimensions and worlds. She can view our internet and YouTube videos through one, like an instant PC monitor. She also has all psychic powers possible. And, as an artist herself, and linked to myself, Christine Chandler, mentally and visually through a portal, she draws and writes the Sonichu comic book series in Equestria. Replace me with her. Transformation to Chris-chan Sonichu still the same, and all humans with ponies and horses. Nightstar may be considered overpowered, but she still has her flaws, not autism or Asperger's, period. And she uses her powers for good. Look forward
Sure
to
she
her
does.
life story, shortened, plus a day in Ponyville and around, in the next Sonichu after completing number 12. Thank you for your loyalty and patience. I am a proud Pegasister in the Brony Herd community. On August 25th, Lady of the Cosmo, illustrator and close friend of several members of the Planet Dolan YouTube conglomerate, tweeted that she was tired from working hard and wished her followers a good night. Christine replied with, "Rest comfy and easy, dear." In response, Lady of the Cosmo strongly wrote that she was not Chris's dear, nor was anyone else from Planet Dolan. Chris
yeah,
apologized and stated that she meant the term neutrally, soon adding that the actress, Talua Bankhead, most famous during the 1930s and 40s, would be offended by the artist's objection to the term's neutral usage. Chris later came back to the conversation to
Oh,
post
of
a
course he did.
created drawing and letter addressing Lady of the
Of course he
Cosmo.
fucking did.
Open letter.
He never just
Something
let it
that
go.
grinds my gears is how people are not accepting of the neutral terms of darling or dear. I use one or the other as a neutral addressing in lieu of
It's
the
not a
various
neutral
formal
addressing,
nicknames
that
or
implies
actual names in
some
general,
sort
when
of
that detail is
closeness.
unknown, or when the other person is too distant to
Yeah, with
trust
the other
me,
person.
yet on addressing them by their name. I swear,
Nice.
if
Got what we
Tallulah
wanted.
Bankhead were alive today, she would never put up with such disrespectful responses. That is all for now, darling. Humph. Christine W. Chandler.
Okay. Instead of just apologizing
Lady
and
rebutted,
letting it
providing
go,
dictionary
he doubles down.
definitions of the words dear and darling. Chris accused her of siding with the haters, while Lady said that there was a difference between haters and those who serve sweet justice towards heartless hooligans such as Christine. Chris denied those claims.
Of
Lady
course.
of the Cosmo wrote
Are you
back that
surprised?
if she did have a heart, then she would not have harassed Doopy Doo-Over like she did, calling her selfish, with a heart filled with fatty layers of greed. Chris denied those claims. Christine elaborated that she meant to be respectful to Doopy, but she had said the wrong things in grave error. Lady
Well,
stated
yeah,
that no one felt
surely.
any pity for her, to which Chris rebutted that she was a sincere, kind person with lots of music and love in her heart and soul. Lady of the Cosmo then called her Christopher Asshat, and that her actions made her who she was. Chris notified her that she was growing tired and weary of the dispute, since the illustrator refused to open up her heart and accept and move on. Lady of the Cosmo clarified that everyone was tired and weary because of Christine, after trying
Pretty
patiently
much,
to
yeah.
make her understand. The two continued to argue, with Chris writing that she would keep digging until people like Lady actually understood her and stopped being so closed-hearted, claiming that she would win as long as she would keep going. Lady called her a horrible person with a facade in the form of a painted smile. Chris denied those claims.
Of course.
She informed
Are you
Lady
surprised?
that she only used those terms with people she liked, to which other Twitter users replied asking whether she would use those words with males as well, and commented that Chris very, very rarely replied to men on the social media platform. Lady of the Cosmos saw it as proof that Christine was trying to get close to women by using those terms of endearment.
Yes,
Kristen
precisely.
unfollowed her after telling her that she hoped Lady would have a nightmare that night. Lady then blocked Christine. Later
Fair
on,
point.
Lady of the Cosmo addressed the argument with other concerned Twitter users, stating that she was alright and that it felt great to give Chris a piece of her mind, though was worried for other creators
I can
who
actually
might get
understand
preyed
that
on by her
feeling.
in the future.
It probably feels
By
amazing,
using her
honestly.
Nightstar2891 Twitter account, Christine tweeted at her own main account, giving words of support and calling her darling, seemingly pretending to be a different person. Kristen replied to Nightstar, thanking her for her kindness and feeling grateful that Nightstar liked her. Nightstar then replied, stating that she understood that Chris meant her words to be seen as neutral and would never do anything to harass Nightstar. Christine then used her main account to share the brief conversation she had with Nightstar as a positive example of how to properly accept terms like dear and darling. Lady noticed Chris
Yes,
was using her
true.
alternative account and shared the conversation, calling her a psycho.
Pretty
Christine
much.
then blocked Lady of the Cosmo on Twitter. On Facebook, the Trollsome gal pal Kim Wilson shared a brief clip from the cartoon series The Simpsons to showcase what problem Chris had been having. She elaborated that it was not Chris's place to decide what is and is not uncomfortable for other people, and that
Well,
terms like
yes,
dear and darling
obviously.
could be offensive from a feminist point of view.
I don't care about the
Since
feminist
Christine
point of view.
was a
It's just
biological
something,
male,
you know, you
Kim wrote
don't
that she
imply
had
a
male
certain
privilege,
closeness with
and she
somebody.
spent more time
It's
thinking
not
how she
there.
made
That
other
the other person
women
clearly
feel
tells you,
so she could
no,
correct her
you're just like,
behavior.
okay, sorry, my bad.
During this time,
Then
Christine
you move
left
on.
many replies
Not
to
hard.
tweets written by Jesse Nowak, or Nowak.
You don't need anything else.
popular
Quite
voice
literally
actor
not.
With connections to the My Little Pony fandom.
We need a fresh carcass
Chris
anyway.
wrote about her own experiences and offered her
Maybe randomly
advice
killing a fucking
in
mountain
response to
lion
Nowak's tweets
gives me that.
concerning relationships. On August 27th, she found out that Nowaking had also blocked her, likely as a result of numerous calls to do so from Weens. Chris shared screen captures of Twitter users advising Chris against
Did I already
becoming
have
so
one of
attached
those?
to other users or accusing her of stalking, writing that she would be mass reporting these accounts.
Doesn't seem
In
like it.
response to MLP voice actress Tara Strong tweeting that she wanted out of this dimension because of some negative news regarding President Donald Trump, Chris wrote that she wanted to join her. Twitter user Aphonic Phonology replied that escaping to another universe would not change the way she treated others, and that she should come back to Earth to deal with her problems like an adult. Kiwi Farms members
such a
soon
fair point
noticed
to make,
that Chris
though.
used her Nightstar account to follow Nowaking, bypassing her block. It was also on that day that Chris
Little,
created
little
an account
things
on
everywhere.
BronyNet, an online dating
Halloween
website designed for fans of My Little Pony.
I mean, do
She
the end that
described
really
herself as
need
an
that though.
all-round, good-natured,
This had better
high-functioning,
be good.
autistic, female lesbian soul and trans woman, artist, gamer, and
Beware.
creative type,
Our
and
enemy is
revealed
about.
that she was the
But
original creator
where?
of
Now we
Sonichu,
fly back
Rose
to
Chew,
Undercity
and
and we'll
the city
take
of
the
Brookville.
Zeppelin back down
She stated
south, I
that she was
think.
looking for a kind, compassionate, good-looking woman who was as local as possible and who could appreciate her for who she was and not judge her. At the end of the day,
Then we
Chris
go
wrote a
back
long
to
thread
that shit and finish up our
justifying
little
her
quest.
actions.
Embrace.
I will answer a question
Yes,
right
we're gonna
now.
finish our
Why do you act young while you're actually an adult?
awesome
I am young at
little
heart,
quest.
a concept I've kept
Using
within
this internet
myself
needs
since
express
childhood.
to people
If you
who
keep a
need
youthful
internet
attitude, you can keep the energy when old. A concept some people apparently do not comprehend. Youthful energy is better filled with kindness, compassion, and love for others. And
Yes, because you're so full of
yourself.
that.
To be
I think the only
adulting
love
with so
that
much
Chris
drama
is full
gets
of
boring,
is self-love for
regardless of us
himself,
having
because he
to deal
considers
with it
himself to be something
respectively
very
in our own
special.
lives. And we, the young at
And
heart,
famous,
stand
mind you.
alongside our liked and cared others, men and women of every race, orientation, and so forth, with love. Love that would normally be found in our youth, despite lack of better wisdom and knowledge. There are no man-children. Everyone is a child to their parents and elders, as well as God, our Creator. Haters, stop adulting. Find your past. Youthful
Special he
selves,
definitely is.
and
Yeah.
reconnect.
I mean, you can say what you
The
want.
next day,
Special in a
Christine
way
wrote an
that
update on
creature most
Patreon
definitively
explaining
is.
that new pages
But
would be delayed
let's be
because she
honest,
was
yeah,
feeling off on
not in a
account of
good
trolls
way.
on Twitter, convincing another person she
Really
liked
not in
to
a good
block her,
way.
even though her messages to that person were of support. She also shared the update on Twitter.
I think
damning
we're
the
actually going to
trolls
do
for
the following.
coercing those she
We're gonna
talked
fly back to
into
Ratchet,
blocking
finish
her,
up the
kind
quest,
and compassionate victim.
collect
She then
the
posted a
find
poll
gold thread
asking if they
in
were in the same
Beauty Bay
situation,
while we're at
would
it.
they block the
And
many
we're gonna probably
internet
do some
trolls
leveling
or the
in
victims they
Stranglethorn
followed.
Vale.
She also shared the poll on
Really,
Facebook.
I was kinda
asking
trying
her
to
friends
avoid
vote for
it
the
because
hero and
from
not the
personal
bullies.
experience in the past,
In
that
addition,
place is so
she
fucking full of
privately
gankers, it
messaged
ain't
several
fun.
people, at least on Twitter, to share around the link to her poll.
Since
so
we
more
are on a
people
pretty
could
dead
see it,
server, that actually shouldn't be a
hinting that maybe
problem.
Tara Strong could
once.
influence the vote if it reached her. Kristen hypothetically asked if people would block out the heroes of Sailor Moon and Transformers to keep them from the
Could you please
villains,
leave poor
and
Sailor Moon out
promoted
of
the
this?
hashtag
What has poor
block
Sailor
the
Moon ever done to
trolls,
you?
so people not block the heroes. She then used her Nightstar account to like all of her tweets on her main account.
Are you surprised?
At the end of the day,
I'm not
Chris
surprised.
revealed the results of the poll to find that an overwhelming majority, likely made up of Weens, voted in favor of blocking the victims and not the trolls.
Of course.
A Twitter user asked for clarification on whether Doopy Do-Over blocked her because of the trolls, or because of specifically Chris, like she had stated. Christine answered that Doopy was stressed and misdirected her upset towards the wrong person.
I don't really
On
think
August
so.
29th, Chris shared on Facebook a generated future prediction she received on the site Witty Bunny 6 years prior, commenting that during the year 2011, she was still figuring herself out and that it was not a good year for her because her father died that September, and that owner of the game place, Michael Snyder, snared Chris and his mother into his trap, which caused the Chandlers to lose all of the remaining money
Boy
that
and
Bob had left
pumpkin.
them. Christine also wrote
Wicked
on
boy
Twitter
pumpkin.
that she wished that every day would be like BronyCon,
Isn't it cute?
with lots of people full of sincere kindness, approaching everyone, instead of having haters and trolls unblocked and having the heroes blocked. Also on that day, she wrote an extensive Facebook post stating that she would try finish coloring the new Sonichu pages, despite feeling weighed down by getting blocked by Doopy Do-Over, Tabitha St. Germain, and Jesse Noaking on Twitter. She elaborated that she supported those creators in sharing kindness and compassion, but the trolls and bullies that followed her began harassing them and bad-mouthing Christine for not being sincere and committing immature deeds in the past, thusly overrunning their Twitter and lives if they would not block Christine,
Oh
the
boy,
hero.
Chris.
She closed with stating that her heart was in it, and that
But
she
see,
had
you can
learned
quite
from
clearly
5+ years
read
of
it,
mistakes
not
and
even between the lines, he's
misconduct
quite
by
legit
which people
calling himself a
continued
fucking
to
hero.
judge her wrongfully and divide people. In
It's sort of
response,
perspective.
Kim Wilson accused her of not listening to women when they gave Chris criticism, and felt that creating another Twitter account to evade Doopy's blocking was stalker behavior, fearing Chris would murder someone one day and blame it on the trolls.
Yeah, don't we all
Chris
feel
later
that?
shared screen caps of her post on Twitter, directly addressing the accounts which had blocked her by tagging them. Chris later apologized to Lady of the Cosmo for their unrequited dispute and regretted reporting her account, claiming that it was a bad move on Chris's part and believed that Lady could be a better person than that.
Keep it real!
Lady herself
one.
replied, writing that she wished for Chris to maturely apologize for making her uncomfortable by calling her dear, and instead thought that Christine hadn't changed at all because she tried to correct Lady's judgment of the situation. Lady also
Are you
added that the
surprised?
dispute arose because Chris would never be a woman as
That
pretty
would
as Lady
happen.
of the Cosmo, both inside and out. On August 30th, Christine made a YouTube video showing a new trick she could do with her tongue.
For I am the kind and compassionate Christine Chandler.
Very important to remind people of that.
And now I can roll my R's. I am still in practice. So everybody is honored to be rolling in the press. For I am not
Got your baby not.
Ginger Dolan, the narrator of these Super Planet Dolan videos.
Maybe just don't, Chris. Maybe just don't, you know. Just for once.
Nonetheless, in that sense, not great and powerful, I'm kind and compassionate.
Yes, surely.
Christine Chandler.
In your
Now
dreams,
everyone
you might
stay
be.
green and go out and zap to the
But in reality,
extreme.
You're not.
Have a lovely day.
On on September 1st.
What a
Encouraged by a
person.
campaign promoted by Tara Strong,
What a
Chris
fucking
donated
person.
$20 to the American Red Cross to help those affected by Hurricane Harvey.
You don't
2
have
days
that
later,
money.
by
Stop
her
doing that.
9-star account, Christine posted 26 Twitter screenshots of herself being supportive and kind to creators like Doopy and No Whacking, followed by trollsome replies by Weens. Chris then went back to her main account to display 9star's tweeted screenshots as examples of trolls who should have been blocked. Later on, digital artist R. Merriweather invited Chris to be a guest on a podcast called Internet Dream Lounge, which was co-hosted by himself and EDM artist Easy K. The next
That
day,
sounds special.
Merriweather notified his Twitter followers that the interview was completed and was due to be released the following week. Merriweather then created a Kiwi Farms account and revealed that he did not know exactly why Chris agreed to do the interview, but suggested that it was to promote her own Patreon account.
Are you
After
surprised
prolonged
that
attempts
Chris
to
would
make
just
the
be like,
interview
yeah,
more
interview,
edited
I'm a
down
famous
and
person. Yeah,
entertaining,
famous
it
people
was
do that, don't
officially
they?
scrapped to never be released, though it was leaked at a later point.
Easy has actually been quite a big fan of Sonichu for some years.
I love Sonichu. I really do.
Support me on Patreon and I can send you copies of the books.
First words out of his mouth.
Dude, for what's your base amount for Patreon?
Well, basically, minimum, just so I can make sure I make my money. The books are varying because with my publisher, minimum has to be 48 pages, and the more pages there are, the more expensive it is for me, and then I have to pay shipping, of course.
Right, of course.
They talk about the origins of the creation of Sonichu and the beginning of her transgender identity, before moving on to talking about trolls and pickles.
Trolls and pickles. Classic Christian topics.
And then we were intercepted by
The pickle
this
man.
guy in a pickle suit, pickle costume. And I was like,
I mean, you know, that's probably
son of
the most honest
butter.
reaction we'll get, like,
And then
pickle
I didn't
suit.
know what to think, but
I get it.
eventually she walked off to her car with the guy in the pickle
Time
suit
is money, friend.
escorting her.
Because it actually accept
Like,
$1
I
donations.
was like, oh my god, what the hell was
would have
that?
been probably, honestly. If Chris would accept just cents, you know, directly to his account, his PayPal account, instead of bitching about it, I think most people would be like, okay, sure, you've given me enough entertainment to justify maybe 50 cents or so.
Well, that is one aspect that turns me off from.
But you know, if the reaction you get is somebody bitching and moaning there on fucking YouTube, like, Billy Bobba Dollar, Billy Bobba Dollar. You're like, well, ungrateful cunt.
Off a burger or a sandwich. That pickle brine doesn't quite suit me well.
What about kosher? How do you feel about kosher pickles as opposed to dill?
I don't think I ever tried kosher.
They're pretty good. That's the one that I like better.
I'd sample it.
It's worth
Matter
a
of
try.
taste, I suppose.
It's good you're open to new things, at least. So have you encountered the man in the pickle suit more than once, or is that the only time?
I think it might have been another time where outside the pickle suit he came back to Virginia. We just hung out for a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure. But I mean,
The older pickle suit.
I do know who he is.
I think that will stay with the internet for eternity.
There are several
People will years and
situations
decades to come
where,
still
of
make fun
course,
of that particular
sampled
thing.
videos from your
And
previous
Schnicker hated
channel.
about it.
There's one video which you uploaded once, which features a man, a young, decent-looking man, who is interacting with you and joined you in a comedy skit where you drank a potion and became this man. A lot of people were very curious who this guy was. Was it a family friend? Do you remember who I'm talking about?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he actually was a friend of mine and one of my gal pals who actually lives in the Charlottesville area. Not going to name any names.
Well, that's
but
a
yeah, he
first.
was a friend,
Jesus.
and he's currently married and very well to do. I haven't talked to him in a long time though.
They discuss
Probably
more
part of the
trolls
reason why he's
the
doing
past
very well.
versus political stance, and more recent happenings, like her trip to BronyCon and her Twitter blockings.
Yes, I do have one final party thought I'd like to offer before we close out.
Cool.
Over the years of which I have been mislabeled or
Yeah, I
misimaged
don't think you're nearly
or,
as mislabeled as you think yourself to be.
slandered by
And also, you know,
bad people, let's just
is
call
it
that
really
peacefully
slender
by
if
the
at least
bad
half
people.
of it is most
Of
true?
course, that's all in the past.
Kinda feels a bit strange, doesn't it?
And between the miscontent I uploaded that they repurposed for that, it's that's not me. That's not me totally. You can't define me in those aspects.
Isn't that
All the
part
way
of you
around,
though?
while
Because
I
you
was
did that.
still young and naive, didn't know as much as I do now, and don't know everything. We're not supposed to learn everything. I have always been.
Not so much not supposed to. I think it is physically impossible to learn everything.
A kind, heartfelt
Considering the sheer
person,
amount of information
and
it
I've
is.
always liked
Am I
helping
going? Yeah.
and sharing a
This moment I was like,
smile,
am I going the right way? No, of
making
course I'm
people
going the right way. I
feel
want to go to fucking Booty Bay.
that was always me,
Apple
and I
Pop.
encourage everybody.
What happens if I activate the Apple
Regardless
Pop?
of whether they, however they express their
Apple-
feelings
some
of
apples.
like and love, to just go out and be like, hey, you're cool, whatever, fist bump, handshake, give you a hug, do whatever's comfortable for you.
Make me
As
well
long
fed
as you
little
at
apple.
least share a little bit of good, sincere kindness. I encourage that with everyone.
Wow. That's very, very
Thank
beautiful.
you. And thank you, everyone.
Speak, friend.
Thank you for joining
Speak
us, Chris.
French. I'm not your friend though.
Thank
It's
you.
been an honor. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
On September 3rd, Christine announced that she had unblocked all the people she had previously blocked on Twitter. She then proceeded to backtalk and replied to many tweets criticizing her. Notable controversial YouTube creator Count Dankula also replied to Chris, wishing that she would follow him back because he wanted them to have a live stream together. On the 4th, to commemorate
Many
what would
people
have been her
suddenly
father's
are like,
90th
yes,
birthday,
Chris.
made a video
That could be
in which she
interesting.
read out
I
two
could
letters written
make
by her
something
father,
out of that.
Bob Chandler.
And today, this special Captain's Log star date 09/04/2017. This date marks my late father's, Robert Franklin Chandler Jr., his 90th birthday.
Or it would if he weren't dead.
Miss him every day. Younger, older. There's a couple of pictures of him.
Quite literally, too.
Anyway, in honor of his birthday today, I'd like to share something that actually came from him. He actually typed up and hand wrote a few things to me.
Yes. Did he,
In
didn't
honor of
he?
his birthday, I'm going to be reading out his letter that he made out to me by my
Collecting things.
They started on December 26, 1987. This is after he got his Tandem brand computer. And used the word processor.
Time
in
is
that.
money,
I used the
friend.
word processor in there as well for.
Keep it real.
I
What's up?
made the list of all the video games I owned.
Have a good one.
That was pretty much that. There, I mean, it was just a word processor. Anyway, so.
I don't think we're gonna catch the ship though.
Weston Chandler from your daddy. Started December 26, 1987.
She reads out the letter in full before moving on to another one.
August 18, 2008. Dear Christian, at this time in life, you and Sonichu need a quest and purpose in life. As if Sonichu didn't have a purpose already that I'd given him,
And the ship goes away, of course. Well, it gives me an opportunity to do some fishing, so you know, what am I gonna complain about?
this is just this is what he wanted, my father. Let Sonichu become a champion for autistic persons everywhere and continually defeat the perils of autism. Oh, good grief. Sonichu could become the spokesperson for autistic persons with an ongoing fight for them in chapter after chapter or good deeds on the internet. He could become the spokesperson from now on. You and Sonichu could become famous worldwide. There was a little mini poster on the back. It's like, look at this. Isn't that funny? Was that me? Is that me? Sonichu,
You know, Chris, you really shouldn't judge too harshly somebody else's art.
Everywhere, knocking out the big A.
Really shouldn't.
It's fine. funny. Yeah, he was a smart man, my father.
I mean, he earned a pretty nice salary, so at least he learned something decent and made something out of himself. Good start, I'd say.
Pokemon have autism.
Damn it, I still can't
I mean, the only
really fish here.
autistic Pokemon I made was the grass psychic type autistic. That's it's on the train card I've
It's a bit annoying.
before, but I don't have it on me right now. It's
Guess
in
we're
my
just gonna sit
binder.
down and wait for the bloody
So
ship
anyway,
again.
Happy birthday,
Drawing.
Mr. Chandler.
Well,
Wherever
slow
you
sinking
are.
of the sun. I just reminded it's actually evening.
And now, by special request, I still
I'm looking
don't
so
know
forward
all
for
the
the
lyrics
waking
while
update early
singing
again.
the choral
Been a while
verse.
since I had to do that.
We're not flawless. We're work in progress. We've got fits and we got quirks, but it's our flaws that make us work. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for
I'm not
now.
gonna
This
deny
is
the fact that people have their
Christine
quirks and their flaws. I mean, I have more than enough
and Bob Chandler
myself.
signing off for
I'm
now.
not gonna deny that.
Have a great, safe day.
But you know, there are some small, minor differences
On
you might
September
want to make.
7th, Chris made another video for YouTube, discouraging her trolls from interacting with everyone on the internet with whom she talked.
I want you all to listen up for a moment. I want you all to listen up.
They just want people
Especially the
very
internet
nicely
trolls
because they
and
know how you are.
cyberbullies who pester everybody
Totally
I
agree
talk
here,
to.
even though the trolls are
You
definitely
should
not
be
good
doing
people.
that because I
I
know
think
what
in
you
some
are
cases their
worrying about
motivation
them,
is actually,
asking them about
well,
me.
if not good, okay.
And guess what? They're not gonna have any information about
You know,
me
just gonna say.
whatsoever, 'cause depending on how much
strength or not
communication we
desolace?
have, you can consider
Questions.
communication with most, not as much, so they don't
Questions
know so
indeed.
much about me.
I mean, the good
And
thing
I
is it
wouldn't
gives me a
know
nice
much about
opportunity to
them,
take
like,
a few
say,
drags
for
off the
example,
pipe,
yes,
relax for a bit.
do-over. We hadn't talked much, at least we talked a little bit. I shared my feedback, I shared
And
my
still he
positive
denies
input, you know,
that some people just block him because
that she's a good
he's
person.
just
But
the
anyway,
creepy ass.
she does not know anything about me, so nobody had to pester her. And like, I didn't know much about her except from what she shared on the videos on YouTube. So anyway, point of the matter is, don't harass or mass communicate with anybody on the
Next
internet
one came out of
I
nowhere.
talk with. Period. If you want to bother somebody, go bother somebody that you're already talking with.
How about
Okay.
no? How about I want to talk to
Okay.
some random stranger on the internet?
And also, definitely only 2 accounts on Twitter with my name on them. You know what they are? There are no others.
Why am I unwilling to believe that? Oh yeah, because you're making such a
Anyway.
strong point of it.
Lost my train of thought. But anyway, no, no, no. Okay?
Yes, yes,
Stop harassing
yes.
people.
Start harassing people.
Because not only do I like them, but I care about some to all of them.
You don't.
Okay?
You really don't.
I know.
You fucking care about yourself, and
That's all I have to say for now.
that's it.
Thank you.
Stop fucking lying, Chris.
On that same day, Chris wrote on Facebook that she was feeling lonesome and sad because she still hadn't found her sweetheart. She had not given up her search, but had backed away for the moment, praying that her sweetheart would find her. In response, her Facebook friend, William Elliott Waterman, wrote that praying for a sweetheart to find her was a selfish, passive, and defeatist thing to do. He added that he knew married parents were some of the loneliest people he had ever met, showcasing that finding a sweetheart was not a miracle cure for unhappiness, and encouraged her to do more to enlighten or cleanse her body, like exercising or meditating to make herself relax and feel happy in her own skin. Soon after, Chris's longtime Facebook friend, Jessica Quinn, left a comment, simply writing that the two needed to talk. Presumably after holding a private conversation, Jessica revealed on Facebook that she and Christine began a so-called complicated romantic relationship, elaborating in the comment section that the two were testing the waters. On September 8th, Chris officially declared on YouTube that she was in a relationship with Jessica Quinn.
It finally happened. I'm Christine Weston Chandler, and I am in a true loving
Oh, that's gonna work out splendidly.
with my sweetheart. Miss Jessie. My little Miss Jessie. And I'm a little Miss Christine. It's real
Fascinating.
true, real good. She and I have been talking to
It's
each
really
other
like, no,
for
Chris.
a couple of years. She is made aware of
Yeah.
all trolls and
Did you really
bullies,
think he would hold back and not
it
outright go like,
hurts
yep, this is my
thinking me
sweetheart, now
on
we'll be
as
together forever?
choosing me as her sweetheart. Still work in progress, this relationship.
Yeah, that's. I don't really know why you're making this so
I'm her
fucking
champion. I'm gonna defend her from
high up. Ah,
all
Chris.
trolls and bullies. I have true love in my heart.
Yes,
unreal
and
to
true
me.
desire in your pens. We know, because that is
used to it.
probably the main motivator you had for
I
the fucking whole
I
longest time.
stand straight to arms. I'm not gonna let anybody harass or bother my sweetheart.
Didn't you should shoot yourself in the
If y'all
face
have
because
any
you're harassing
questions
her
about
right
our
about now.
relationship, you direct them to me. And upon there being any of which she and I mutually agree, whether or not to share or leave offline, period, our relationship will mainly be offline.
Yes.
Jessica,
How else would that
I love
work?
you. All my
Which
heart.
makes the times are a bit difficult to do through a fucking PC. I kinda need to do that in the flesh, so you know. But yeah, you see here, nice example, isn't it? Never, ever, ever, ever learns the lesson. Immediately goes,
So everybody please
you know, full
respect
throttle.
her as you would respect
immediately.
me very much.
Nobody is fucking surprised. At least I'm not surprised, honestly. I'm just sitting here like, yep, yep, yep,
Have a
yep,
good,
yep.
safe day.
The next day, Kiwi Farms user, Moonman's son, had a private conversation with Jessica on Facebook. They questioned whether she was truly genuine or a troll, with Jessica firmly stating that she was simply trying out the relationship with Chris and seeing if it would work. She revealed that she was well aware of Christine's past actions, admitting that
Hey
they were
there.
poor choices made by Chris, but would still go ahead with their relationship because she felt that things and people can change, wishing that their
but that-
interactions be kept more private.
See you around.
Even though
That's
Jessica
not
firmly
special.
stood by her stance as a real woman, genuinely interested in a possible relationship
Bling.
with Christine, most
Need
people
help?
assumed her to be a troll on the count of her
careful.
sometimes
That
ethically
took forever to
questionable
make.
Facebook posts over the years. Whatever the case, Christine believed, once again, that she had found
And
her
it looks the
sweetheart,
same as my
a
old robe.
girlfriend like she
No,
wished,
a
who
bin.
could write
Actually. Hey, it's a sweet, nice equipment piece. I'll have to give it that much. Was it worth the investment we had to do, the travel time we had, the ingredients we needed to get our hands on? Probably realistically speaking, no. But you know, it's a warlock quest, what can I say? Makes my little warlock heart go all like, oh, I want it. Okay, now that we've done this, the question is, once again, where the fuck are we going? Yeah, I think Strangled Sword is not a bad idea for some leveling, honestly. I mostly think so because, well, in the past, Strangled Sword was just a pain in the ass to level in. Because, well, fucking assholes everywhere try to kill you at every fucking step of the way.
what made her this way.
Since the server is so bloody fucking dead,
What is the attraction?
I'm pretty sure that we
What
can
keeps
have a
us
nice peaceful time.
fascinated?
Relatively speaking.
This is the story of Christian.
I'll probably continue that line sometimes else. I guess we could finish this quest. We are really
On
not
September 9th,
feeling the need to be
2017,
fast about it.
Christine revealed on Facebook a new drawing of her girlfriend, Jessica Quinn, writing that she had
We have
turned
all
out
the
to
time
be
in the
the
world to
woman
finish that.
initially named Lovely Weather, Chris's destined girlfriend, as depicted in Sonichu issue 10, noting the similarities in their drawn appearances. The
Very
next
special
day,
picture again.
Chris went to
Mhm.
Twitter to compliment My Little Pony voice actress Andrea Libman on her cute performance style after seeing the latest episode of the cartoon series. Jessica saw the tweet, which was also shared on Chris's Facebook profile, showing her surprise at Chris's comments. Chris apologized, stating that she only wanted to let Andrea know that she liked the way she said her lines.
Trouble in
and
paradise
meant for the
already.
comment to stay on
Yeah,
Twitter.
didn't took long.
Jessica wrote that it was odd how Chris wanted to tell the voice actress that she liked the sound of her voice, when Jessica was waiting for Christine to get back to talking to her. Quinn then reminded her that Chris allegedly belonged to her, accompanying her message with a selfie of threatening aura.
Threatening
Chris
aura.
afterwards publicly acknowledged that she belonged to Jessica.
It's more like she's trying
and was
too
not
hard.
interested at all at pursuing anything more than platonic communications with artists which she liked. On September 11th, Christine wrote an email to controversial illusionist and self-proclaimed psychic Uri Geller, asking for his advice regarding psychic powers.
Oh, that's gonna work out splendid.
Hello, Yuri. Guessing you might predict my email to you. Close parentheses. Anyhow, I am Miss Christine Chandler in Ruckersville, Virginia, USA. I just read your name in the psychokinesis chapter of my copy of Develop Your Psychic Skills. I have been working on my own psychic skills. I have found I do have some, and I practice most daily. I am so close to making the trading card I've been practicing with, or even my pen, levitate. If I can, I would like to seek a more expert psychic skill training. I'm a still getting out there artist and creator. Anyhow, should you help me get further on with my skills, or guide me well, I would be most grateful. Thank you. Have a great and safe day. Send from my iPhone. Stay safe. Christine W. Chandler.
You are really.
Geller soon responded. Hi Christine, I don't teach one-on-one or give lessons. Most of my books are free to read on my website. Quite frankly, I believe you are wasting your time. There are more productive things in life than levitating a pen. Put your energy into those.
Fair point.
Being a motivator, a positive thinker, helping others, a bit of meditation, some spirituality, empowering others, etc., etc., etc. Much energy and love, Yuri. Sent from my iPhone. The next day, Christine responded with another email. I am not wasting my time. I have my psychic friend, Magichan Sonichu, and my own dimensional psychic
Jesus
links
Christ.
to my Quickville and beyond. I have had a lot of deja vu moments in my life.
Yeah,
I'm not just
most
looking
people
for
actually
mere
have.
meditation, but I intend to do a lot more good with my psychic powers to bring peace and take down up to all of the internet haters and bullies. I need to do all these in my own control. And
Yeah,
I
that's
did
gonna
also
work
ask
splendid.
for recommendations of anyone else who could help me better develop my powers. Your frank response left me feeling disappointed and disgusted with you right now. Until the later time when I recover from this feeling, because I have a lot of
gnome
other stresses
paladin.
in my life.
Yes, sorry,
Bye.
Geller. He's
Good
literally
day,
getting himself
Yuri.
frustrating a little
Sent
now,
from
doesn't
my
he?
iPhone. Stay
Basically,
safe.
yeah.
Christine W. Chandler.
Working on it. What else can you
On
say about
September
that?
12th, Christine went to Twitter to post a seductive photo of Jessica, possibly sent to her privately.
That's
proclaiming
supposed
that
to be
she was a real
seductive.
person and that they had future plans
Kinda
in the
works, I
making.
guess. Seem better,
Next
honestly.
day, it became public knowledge that Chris was listening to the Lazy Cast, a podcast featuring Planet Dolan creator Doobie Doover and her boyfriend. On the 14th, Chris changed the payment method for her supporters on Patreon to upfront charging to
Of
prevent
course.
patrons from joining and then leaving before they were due for payment. Members of the Kiwi
Are you
Farms
surprised
noticed
he would?
that Chris's announcement post was near directly copied from a Patreon post written by creator Kip Tay Tay, who specialized in illustrating chubby anime girls. On September 16th, Chris showcased an updated full-body drawing of lovely weather, modeled after Jessica, promising to feature her in future Sonichu issues. On that
I
same
see the
day,
art style is still
Christine
very,
attended
very
the Charlottesville
special.
Pride Festival, later having a picture featuring her in the background printed in the Daily Progress newspaper, wearing her oft-seen headgear of pony ears and unicorn horn. Apart from having a few
people,
photos of her
then you
taken,
would also have to
there
send
was
everything.
known of her activity at the event.
And you know
September
that will never
17th,
happen.
Christine posted on Facebook
I'm pretty sure this
a new drawing
point in
of
time
her girlfriend,
there's
Jessica
such a
Quinn,
long backlog of things that would
christening her
already have
character
to be
Diamond
sent,
Melody.
printed,
Soon after, she
produced,
posted another
whatever.
illustration of Diamond
That will
and
never
Chris's pony character,
actually be
Nightstar,
doable, as
together,
long as he gets more
revealing
orders than
that
that
they
is.
are canonically a couple
And even if they would
or
stop.
shipped. Jessica herself
Then he would be like,
commented
I don't
Chris's
have
drawing
time to
efforts
finish
in a
everything I
reply
started
section.
because now I'm poor
2
again
days
and I
later,
suffer and
Chris angrily
meh.
demanded on Twitter for trolls to stop bothering
Ah.
Jessica, sharing the video regarding their relationship, which she had made over a week prior. This was soon followed by 2 brief posts shared both on Twitter and Facebook, the first of which proclaiming that not all trolls were bad,
That's
and then
surprising.
the declaration that she thought kiwis were tasty. Members of the Kiwi Farms felt that her recent posts were prompted by a troll, likely
Probably.
Jessica Quinn. On September 21st, Christine shared on Twitter her tips for growing larger breasts naturally by eating 12 prunes per day and glazing all non-sweet foods with soy sauce.
Oh, come on.
Followers of Chris felt that this
That's bullshit and we all know it.
and retaining water was the result of Quinn's influence, as she was known to follow several Facebook pages concerning fetishization of overweight women. This was confirmed when Jessica Quinn replied to Chris's post, looking forward to the results of her efforts. Chris's troublesome gal pal, Kim Wilson, elaborated that phytoestrogens, as contained in soy and prunes, would not increase breast size.
Obviously
and would
not.
result in increased amounts of salty poops.
Indeed.
Chris countered her comment with links to online articles from which she gathered information regarding breast increase.
Very
Kim
believable.
found it sad
Oh boy.
that many girls were deceived by such pseudoscience.
Okay, let's kill it once and for all. Even I have heard that nonsense about how there be estrogen in your soy. Well, to be fair, yes, just not the same one we have. It's we're humans. We're quite different from plants. If you just try to equate it one-on-one, you're fucking stupid. Why the fuck do you think that would work? Would that then not also mean that people that actually have a high containment of soy produce in their, daily eating habits would turn out quite plump in the breast area, for example, if we just take that one aspect of it? I don't know. Do we see that happening? I have seen that happening. I mean, I'm all for that, mind you. But there are more women with bigger breasts around. I have more to look at, so I'm not really too unhappy about that perspective, mind you. But, sadly, that's not really how that works now, is it? And also, if your source of information are quite literally random ass fucking articles stolen directly from some corner of the internet, I highly doubt their validity. That's really not something you should take without a huge helping of salt, shouldn't you? I mean, I'm not surprised Chris is like, yeah, this is totally legit, but seriously, fuck's sake. Hey, if you're into some, good old-fashioned salty shits, then go right ahead. The prunes are pretty good for your digestive system anyway, I've heard. My grandma tell me once or twice, pretty long ago, now that I think about it, but I mean, better than nothing, I suppose.
Promoted by websites preying on their insecurities to make a quick buck. Christine asked Kim why she couldn't say something supportive or positive instead.
Because it's
Kim
not
replied
true.
that since Chris had been tricked by trolls many times before, she was hoping that she wouldn't get tricked again by these websites, adding that she was supportive but could not support false hope. She wrote that the best way to increase breast size or penis length was either surgery or change in weight. If Chris
that is actually a very true statement, mind you. If you really want to change a part of your body, then the most obvious way is to do it surgically, obviously, because that can actually change that. Or if you change your size, you can actually change how things look on you. That's an option. Basically, your only options, because everything else you have yet. I mean, I'm not going to Google it, but if I were to Google, just out of the fun of it, penis enlargement, how many methods do you think I would find that are absolutely complete bullshit? In the best case. In the worst case, it's actually stuff that could damage your, dangly bits, which you probably kind of would like to avoid, honestly. How these fucking people get away with it every single fucking time, it's amazing. But yeah, don't do stupid nonsense. Or if you plan to do stupid nonsense. And we all had our weak moments once or twice in life where we're like, maybe, just maybe. Nobody actually tried it in the right way, and I'm the one who's gotta do this right. Before you fucking do it. You can't talk to a doctor. They will call you. They will not call you stupid. They will think you're stupid. But they will not call you stupid. And you get your answer. Just in case.
If were to gain weight, some might go to her breasts.
Okay, where the
and
fuck
if
are
she
we
lost
going?
weight, she would increase the perceived length of her penis.
True enough.
On September 23rd, in response to a tweet, Christine posted a newer photo
Yeah,
of
we're
her
probably
cat,
gonna kill
Sorbet,
those.
showcasing the damage to his eyes.
And then we'll go to
She
the
later
camp.
clarified
Let's
that
say.
the photo had been taken a couple
Sounds
of
like a
months
plan,
ago,
doesn't it?
and that his one cloudy eye had recovered considerably.
Wait a second.
A long Facebook post would increase the perceived of her cat,
There it is,
Sorbet,
kitty!
clearly showcasing the damage to his eyes. She later clarified that the photo had been taken a couple of months ago, and that his one cloudy eye had recovered considerably.
I hope so.
On that
Poor
same
kitty.
day, Chris wrote a long Facebook post featuring her review of the Christian documentary on YouTube.
That
made
poor
by
kitty has
Sanjima.
suffered quite a bit.
I was afraid of watching the Christian documentary, as I had thought it would hurt me with a lot of the recounting of the events I was trolled and bullied, for the most part. But on the other hand, there could have been some commentary from various people talking about how they were inspired by me, or something. I
Inspired to do
don't know. I
what?
felt it would be way too
Chris?
much for me to endure watching
Inspired
it,
to
so
do
I covered my
what?
eyes with my
It's
turbine
really a
list.
question I would
had
like
my
answered.
earbuds plugged into my iPod. I listened to the whole thing.
Because let's be honest here,
I
the only
cried at
thing
some
I
of the
can think people
2004
getting
topics,
inspired by
as
this
they
is
were not offensive. They reminded me of times when I was
outright
so young
stupidity.
that I was like this or that. My tears welled
not
into
in a
the
fun way,
turbine.
mind you.
For about everything before 2004, it was positive, it was kind. And then, starting with the early days of my sweetheart search, and Megan, and Snyder, Mary Lee Walsh, I had a bunch of oh my god moments in response, but that was cake. And then, I heard the old song I sang that makes me cringe now, in tune to I Want It That Way from NSYNC, Virgin with Rage, and then the sagas,
Ooh, I
with
forgot.
the trolls and the theoretical
Virgin
legends.
with
All of
Rage.
that was a medium
Can't forget
slice
about
of
that, can
hell
we?
to me. So, in my overall feeling of that documentary, I gave it a
Good
thumbs down
times.
on YouTube. I feel like it is about 45% hellish out of the whole hour. I really wish, and I feel, it would do me a whole better world of good for a documentary or full compilation of recorded video testimonies from all of the people who are actually touched by my work or by my kindness and efforts, and the genuine positive words
The list of
to
people
outweigh all
touched
that
that
4 years
positively
of
by your
hate.
works is going to be a
07
lot
to
shorter
11.
than the list of
I
people,
want that video
you know.
made. You all wanted me to watch this documentary. I had emotional difficulties listening to it. It is done. There will not be any reaction video of me watching this documentary ever. Soon after, she wrote an
for you.
update regarding her want for an updated documentary featuring testimonies from the many people, for example those she met at BronyCon, who she had touched positively. Chris also
Touched
felt that trimming down
positively.
the trolling sagas to summaries and showing off more of her kindness and personality.
Yes,
would
of course you
benefit
wanted to
the
sound just
documentary.
positive.
She
Why am I not
addressed her past
surprised?
homophobic remarks,
Don't
clarifying
even
that the
fucking
troll's
admit the
imagery
fact that
on
you might have done
Wikipedia
some wrong in your
website
time. That's what I
that
mean.
triggered
All of
her
his
until she
apologies
became tolerant of
that he has
religion
ever
by
done in the
then,
past.
as long as behind
Fucking wrong.
closed-door content was not pushed onto her. On September
And we all know
26th, Christine posted screenshots of tweets that she had liked from creators No Whacking and Doopy Do-Over, both of whom had her blocked, which would have prevented her from seeing their Twitter activity. This meant that she was using another account, bypassing their block.
Yeah, you
However,
surprised?
Kiwi Farms users noticed that upon checking the activity on her other known account, Nightstar2891, they found that the account's like history did not match the screenshots Chris posted, which meant that she was likely using yet another Twitter account. Most
Yeah.
probably twice.
Remember that video where Chris was like, I only have 2 Twitter accounts. Only 2 Twitter accounts. That's all. Makes a long break there for dramatic nonsense that is not really working for him. The very moment he said that, we all knew it. Don't even try to pretend otherwise. There's at least a third one. If not a fourth and fifth one. Honestly, if you would tell me outright that 90% of the likes, or whatever the fuck the system works on fucking Twitter, I should know that, but I don't, so, you know, don't judge me. What was I doing? Oh yeah, it was basically, yeah. Basically, you know, I'm sure it has basically the same system that Facebook and stuff has, doesn't it? I don't know. Probably. Maybe. Potentially. Doesn't really matter. Whatever sort of reaction he gets to that, if you were to tell me that 90% of that is done by himself, using multiple accounts, I honestly wouldn't have any way to refute that reasonably, because his character is what his character is, you know? Just like to, you know.
Authorities had previously suspected of being Christine. She gave her name on the site as Kurt Varnson, a name near identical to a pseudonym used by Jerry Seinfeld in the TV show Seinfeld.
And we're not
Possibly
even
after
surprised.
seeing the information posted on the forums, Jessica confronted Chris for secretly following female creators like Doopy and broke off their relationship. Chris changed her relationship status on Facebook to It's Complicated, while Quinn changed hers to Single. Jessica followed up with a short post and replied to
Why,
comments
Chris?
regarding her irritation at a certain lying, untrustworthy individual without explicitly referring to Chris. Christine then wrote a post, regretting lying to protect from a truth and sneaking to hide from the bullies. Shortly after, she updated her Facebook profile picture
That's
to a
always the
7-second-long
same.
video of herself crying and pleading for Jessica to not leave her.
Jessica, I'm so sorry. I
mean,
don't want to lose you.
to be fair, that's not really a
Jessica
reason
accused her of lying because she thought she
to,
would get away with it,
you know,
saying not to blame her actions on the
give up on a
bullies,
serious
and attached a
relationship.
photo of
But this
herself
is not a serious
scowling.
relationship. This is a test and trial run.
Christine wrote
You
that
just
her head
fucking
was feeling
failed.
constricted and that she would be taking some time off away from her phone. Presumably after a private conversation, the two changed their relationship status back to being in a complicated relationship with each other. Shortly after, Chris wrote on Twitter that she was to regrettably quit following the LazyCast podcast featuring Doopy Do-Over, apologizing to them for unsubscribing. Jessica replied, thanking Chris for her decision. Christine then unfollowed Doopy and
Okay, to be fair, I mean,
on her
if
quite
you are
childish Twitter
that much
account.
of an insecure
She
person that you get
elaborated
fucking
on
jealous
Facebook
over somebody
that
listening
these
to
ties
a
felt
podcast
like
of somebody of the other gender, you probably have
but did so to
your
fulfill
problems
promise.
cut out for you,
A Facebook
basically.
friend expressed concern over her willingness to cut the aforementioned ties if she was being forced into it, while Quinn showed surprise at Chris claiming that her actions were being done against her will. 2 days later, Christine posted new unfinished pages of Sonichu, which revealed possible influence from Jessica Quinn, and
Were
the
you
fact
surprised?
that Rosechu had begun to excessively eat
Oh boy.
and became overweight. Later on, Twitter user Yvonne Mora accused Chris of stealing a work of fan art by Gabriel Montero to use for the banner of a Patreon page. Chris defended herself, writing that it was a lovely piece of art and was using it in full appreciation of the artist who drew it. It was also not considered stealing because Sonichu, Rosechu, and the city of Quickville were her creations.
Yes, but
On
that
October
doesn't mean that
3rd,
you own the
Chris
actual
launched a
art,
new
which
store on
means
the merchandise creation
you
site,
actually do the
Redbubble,
same thing that you
selling
accuse
items
other
branded
people of,
with
namely
photographs
stealing
of
your
Chris
work.
before her transition,
But of course, when
including
Chris does it,
skirts
that's not
or free
stealing. Nah,
photographs
no,
priced at up to $80.
no,
The next
sorry,
day,
of course
Christine
not.
recorded a second interview for
Jesus.
the podcast Internet
Yes.
Dream Lounge with the
Dishonest
hosts
son of a
Mary
bitch,
Weather
aren't ya?
and Easy K, promising to ask more tough questions and plan out the interview accordingly to make it more entertaining than the previous episode, which had to be scrapped.
I'm good, doing quite fine. We already did this interview already. I just want to re-record it because the last one was quite boring. And also a few times I slipped up and didn't call you by your proper pronoun. So what was it you told me to do this time in order to make sure I don't slip up and call you he instead of she?
Pretend you're talking with Natalie Portman. Hello, I'm Miss Natalie Portman. Pretend for me, alright?
Yeah, God,
Alright.
that's not the sort of humor I'm into, honestly. The
Apparently.
first interview I liked better already.
Anyway,
This
They
is
briefly
just
discussed the
cancer.
villains of the Sonichu universe and the politics of Quickville.
Probably take a look at it and go like,
before the
okay,
babysitter who allegedly kickstarted
no
Chris's
thanks, skip,
descent into
skip,
autism.
skip.
early back in your timeline, like the farthest back you can remember, there was an event which shaped you as a person. It was when your childhood
River.
babysitter.
All we wanted from
who
you were
I
some
believe she called
interesting
Miss
and
Roach,
decently
she knocked you
amusing
looking
comics
because you were interrupting
and
a
crying
phone
internet
call.
browsers.
Now, I asked
be
you this
fair.
question in a private chat between you and I, but I
Not
would like
this
to ask you
nonsense.
again so you can elaborate on it in
Alas.
our interview. Would you ever consider putting Miss Roach into your comic as a villain?
Very unlikely because I have very little information or recollection about her past or current appearance, much less her first name. So that would be a big no.
Now then, on we go to
Because a lot
Nazingary's
that's kind of
expedition.
Like
This
the
one
ground
is
zero of everything Christian, of everything
probably one of the
Christian
crown
as
jewels
it's
that
called. Do you know that
everyone
term,
has
Christian?
gone through.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's
Classic
good.
at the very least.
Yeah, that's
Man
good. You
Bus.
like that.
Strangles on Vale.
Yeah.
First account of a Nazingary's
wonderful.
hunting expedition at the
Chris,
fucking
let's
horror
play a game of
debits.
Thug,
Because
Marry,
this
Kill.
actually,
It's kind
it's
of a
shared.
party game, so I guess you
Both sides
haven't
can
really
do
had a
quests
chance to
here.
play it. It's not something you do
which means if
habitually.
until this point in time you had
I
not
will
seen much
mention three
PvP,
people,
this
and
would
here's
usually
the
the
rules.
point where
You
you'd be
have
like,
to
oh
find
fuck,
one,
oh
you have
fuck,
to
oh
marry
fuck.
one, and you have to kill
Lots
one.
of fuck yous.
So, okay, so let's
Good
start out
fucking
with
time, I tell ya.
Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton,
Ah.
and Donald J. Trump.
Oh, that's an obvious one. I'd have sex with Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Disgusting.
let's see.
How old is Hillary Clinton?
Oh, well, let me swap that. I'd marry Hillary Clinton. And
Okay, that's
okay,
maybe better.
I'll
Then again, you know, Bill Clinton is a
I'll
thing.
play with
Probably not gonna agree to
Barack
that.
Obama, and I would kill Donald Trump.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, you don't like Trump very
You
much,
got
do
my
you?
attention.
I mean,
Yes, I do not.
you're free to
I
not
have
like him,
watched
but
the
wishing death
political
upon people
debates
is usually
before
taking
the
it a bit too
election.
far, isn't it?
All three of them, and I could saw
Watch your back.
Yeah, it's easy.
That he was an obvious
What can I do for you?
Welcome to the
narcissist.
jungle.
Or so the
91, oh yeah, it is.
psychologists have
Keep your
coined the
feet on the
phrase,
ground.
he is a
Yeah, it's gonna be
malignant
fun.
narcissist.
Mastery,
And
Vector
since he came
Mastery.
into
Great
office,
to meet
I've
you.
Not that
definitely
one, please.
See you
reflected
soon.
Friend. Go with honor.
You remember that collection
Well, let's not get too into
quest
politics.
we did in
Do we
Ashen
have
Vale,
anything
yes?
else? Oh, right.
This is the basically the same one
What
where you
can I
have
do
to
for
collect
ya?
Chris, what's
pages
your biggest regret?
that are all over Stranglethorn.
biggest
I'm not gonna
regret.
fucking do that. That is cancer.
Yeah, albeit seemingly
That is bloody cancer.
minor, I'd have to say
Okay,
my
let's see here.
biggest regret
I think there
was when one of my
is...
theoretical
Yeah, the young trackers are
told me
basically just
that
around
she
here.
was fascinated with
Actually, it's surprising that there's still people
cake
around here.
parts, and I paid $11 for this beautiful chocolate cake from Walmart that I had
Wow,
actually cut
normally
pieces
they're
out
around here.
beforehand.
How's that dead?
And well, I sat bare ass on the cake.
Well,
And after that, it was made not edible, and then I ended up having to trash
yes.
that remaining
Remind
cake I
people
sat
that
on.
you sat on a cake with your bare ass.
Well, that's. I'm sorry to hear that. It
Sorry
seems
about
like
the cake, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, sorry about the
Other than
cake.
that, just want to ask Chris. You are obviously more and more aware these days that you do have a sort of ironic kind of infamy around you and your comic. Why do you think people kind of are so fascinated by specifically you?
I'm not really
that's gonna be
sure,
good.
But I like to think among which I actually was a victim of a whole bunch of internet trolls and cyberboys, the real actual bad people, and that I stood against them the best as I was able to. And while I was down and out
See,
for a while,
in Chris's
I
mind,
definitely
he's
made
the
a
hero of the story.
rebound and came back
And I'm not
around.
saying it's wrong to consider yourself the hero of your own lives, but you know, accept some moderation and maybe some advice sometimes that kinda would make it a bit more better.
Natalie Portman or Christine Weston Chandler, thank you very much for joining in. Do
Shit,
you want
I
to do
forgot I needed to
a
learn
little
tanning,
bit,
didn't I?
exit? Our podcast name is Internet Dream Lounge. Do you want to give us an exit?
Yes,
Of
this has
course.
been the Internet Dream Lounge. You have been listening to Miss Christine Weston Chandler.
And
Easy
just
going.
randomly
Y'all have a
dogs this
great,
fucking
safe day.
weather. Okay.
Stay safe, well, love, freedom, and peace.
Christine, you just doxed me.
Hasn't he become aware of that? Chris. That's a special individual.
Also,
Then he
report,
dogs people.
Christine created a new account on the site Human Forms using the username.
Okay, to be fair, that was kind of funny, admittedly. Not so much, you know, considering
questions directed at
everything, but
forum
still.
members, and plans
The
to
timing was
answer
just
them in
great.
video form. She aimed to come back once per week to take on any new questions and allowed her responses to be shared in the possible development of a better video documentary or series of her characters.
Yeah, sure.
Later that day, she live streamed her responses to 40 questions on YouTube.
First off, yes, that was me on the aforementioned Kiwi Farms. I made the one
Ye olde
post.
Kiwi Farms.
I shall never make another post again on that web forum,
Why not?
but I felt need to establish that I am to
Already
face
started. Continue doing it.
the trolls, good and bad, because we're all still individual people.
Yeah, I need to... I
And
have
very
4 more
importantly,
points
I do
I can get
this
in skinning, and then we can have to go back and
because
learn more skinning.
This is like eventually happening.
Because this is an ideal
Been
area
waiting
for us,
to
because
happen.
most of the creatures here are
I
skinnable.
face my demons.
Which
of
means,
the
you know,
past that have
a
been
good
lingering
opportunity
on
to get
me
that
for
up
so
300.
many years. I have not been able to since I was naive, either in regular, even with regular or superpowers. I still need to address these concerns individually. And then
So
we
fly
can move forward,
to Rewind,
and thus allowing
Hearthstone
me
to Freewind,
to ultimately find true peace of mind and solace
and then come back here
between me
via Zipline.
and my sweetheart.
Basically is the idea in my mind now.
And
I'm
of
pretty sure
which
Nogrima
she
has a
has
teacher for skinning that
voiced
can get me
concerns
next level.
against me doing
Actually, before I do
this,
that, I will quickly Google if I can learn the highest skill in
but
tanning
this is something
from
that just
Nogrima.
was going to eventually be done anyway.
Because if I do
So,
the trip for nothing,
see,
I'd
my
be kinda getting
sweetie,
pissed.
Yeah. While your comments between our back and forth earlier today, they did sting me quite a bit. But I do this for us, my love. Believe you me, my heart, my soul is in the right place. Okay, so without further ado, we'll answer some questions. But firstly, 2 questions
Yeah,
that
let's
were
stay
proposed
here
to
where it's
me off of
relatively
Twitter.
safe.
One of which, if there was
And I'm
anything
quickly
you
gonna
could
Google that.
change in your future message that you had made on your 25th birthday, what would it be? Initially, I would definitely remove the stay straight and swap that with find yourself for who you are. Whether you be straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, whatever. You are you. You are individual. You should love, accept, and appreciate yourself. I'll answer this one. It's over my head, over my knowledge. But have you ever thought about applying for Section 8 housing?
Village, Malgoa,
As far as I'm concerned, I'll take that under consideration. But at the moment, at this present time, I am not looking
There's
to
somebody in
move
Camp
out
Torajo,
just
we
yet.
can go there, maybe go
Eventually,
to
I
Ratchet.
may, but that is
Sounds like a plan,
still
doesn't it?
years later. I can't say for certain right now. Thought about making medallions again. That is in the process. As we, as me and my associates, we're working on expanding our businesses, the business and whatnot. We just opened the Round Bubble, Red Bubble store just yesterday. We'll eventually find somebody who can make the medallions and on my behalf.
Yeah, because it's so fucking hard to make
and
that.
those will be well to go. Okay, yes, this is a very valid question. Do I believe that Quickville, Equestrian, and other such places exist in different dimensions? Yes! Yes! I believe
Ouch.
very much in
Even
the
Mike was like,
different
"Blink!
dimensions.
I'm not gonna do this."
And I have access. If I access to some, to all those dimensions, I can fuse it into them just like my OC, Night Star, can see into our dimension, our reality, watching our YouTube videos.
Sure they do. In your fucking
And
mind it
visiting
is.
us.
In reality, however.
Visiting other dimensions. Doctor Who does it all the time too.
Not the
He's
fucking
the
serious.
doctor. Who's the doctor?
Pretty
Yes,
sure that
he's the
doesn't
doctor.
count.
Doctor Who? Yes, he's the doctor. I'm the doc. Who's the doc? Yes, he's the doctor. Jumping gigawatts. Moving on. Although possibility of children after my full transformation into being a full woman.
Yeah.
I have heard it's successful.
I have
I
heard
can
not much
eventually bear
about
my
that.
own child, but I'll just leave that up to future events when that
I mean,
can
you
actually
can
happen.
adopt a child,
As
that's
of
an
at this
option.
moment, that's still debatable. And
But
I'm not going to
you
fret too
could
much
say
over that
very,
right now.
very easily that nature has not really
That's all the
intended for,
questions.
you know, men to birth children. Kinda lacking the
so
necessary
now-
parts.
With this,
You know,
with
just, you
this
know, just
task,
kinda wanted to make the
I've
point.
taken a first step towards facing my demons of my past. And once again, I want to reiterate Do not contact any of my friends, any of my family, or any of my associates. And
you're supposed to be
including and
teacher here.
especially my sweetheart. Then I will not answer any more questions.
There he is.
Okay, well, aside from that, I think I'm good for this time. So until next video I record or the next question I answer, everybody,
That was painful money-wise, though.
y'all
Oh
have
boy.
a great,
That
safe
eats
day.
my resources like shit.
Well
Thank
met.
you for your kindness and your respect and listening.
Kindness. See, I wouldn't claim to be a kind person.
Chris posted on Facebook in disbelief.
My first
after
reaction to
finding
seeing
out
other
that
people is
Jessica
not,
Quinn's
you know, I want to be
Facebook
nice to them. My
profile
first
had been
reaction to
deactivated.
most people that I met for
In
the
a
first time
hasty
is
effort to
neutral.
make contact with her,
There's no
Chris made a
respect,
short
no
YouTube
appreciation,
video.
nothing. Just a neutral meh, it's another person.
Sweetie,
The rest we're going to find out,
Facebook account is being deactivated.
you know, sooner or
What the
later.
hell is going on? I'm worried. What the hell?
Give her a call. Like a normal human
There's something
being.
going on. I need you to tell me right away, please.
That was the disgusting begging,
You
please.
reach me at my phone number. Text me. What's going on, sweetie? What the hell?
That would really
Jessica
turn
soon
me off,
messaged her,
you know.
telling her that the trolls hacked her true Facebook account because Chris had interacted with them on the farms in spite of her warnings. She called for an end to their relationship because that she had been backstabbed by people she had decided to forgive, referring to the trolls. In the replies,
Oh
her
boy.
sister's from gal pal, Kim Wilson, wrote that she was sorry that Jessica had stabbed Christine in the back. Chris clarified that it was the trolls that stabbed her in the back by hacking into Quinn's account. Kim asked how did they do that, to which
Yeah.
Chris replied by calling her an unsupportive friend, as well as a drunk, high aquatinatic with her sweetheart. Chris further added
Chris,
that Kim
Chris.
was high, shitted up, and stuck up her ass in comments and replies. Kim Wilson did not understand why Chris was so angry with her, with Chris later telling the trolls that Kim could tell them who was the magical man who appeared in a YouTube video with Chris in 2010, because Chris could not remember his name. Not long after, Christine posted another video on YouTube.
Very
Will we keep this ship?
right now.
Oh, we're back to this sort of it. No ship,
Open
no!
myself up to you damn bunch of internet trolls!
You knew they were trolls. You opened up to them, and now you're surprised that things go down.
You hacked into her account! You hacked into her Facebook, you
Let's say do that though.
miserable, worthless cretins! Just
Cretins?
destroyed your relationship! You
Aw. Don't try to use words bigger than you, Chris.
now! What's my piece of
Even the French, you know, undeserving of any sort of respect that they might be, probably don't want their language to be read by you.
I was suffocating wrong!
I do love this feel though. It's kind of entertaining. It seems like such a fake rage. That depression and annoyance he shows there. Why does it always seem so fake when he does that?
Funny and you'll laugh, but this is not funny!
I mean, what you're doing right now is kind of funny though.
He's killing
That's actually better comedy than you usually do.
And moreover, you all are just ultimately, really, crazily, you are so super fucked up, cursed.
This is not the most fucked up I've ever seen people do. I'm pretty sure there are worse things than
Good.
allegedly, mind you, hacking somebody's Facebook account.
Kristen posted a photo of her mother, Barbara, coming to console her with a tissue on Facebook, accompanied by Barbara's personalized message to Jessica. Things can be fixed, but broken hearts suffer. Please give Christine another chance. Christine then changed
Are you really
her
gonna
Facebook
call your
profile
mother
picture
into a
to the
fucking...
video of her crying for Quinn. She later returned to Kiwi Farms to write one final post.
I have nothing to say about that,
Thanks
honestly.
a lot, you
It's
goddamn
disgusting.
bunch of bastardous children! Her life is ruined.
Actually,
and it was my
Chris,
fault
most
for
of us are
trying to make
bastardous
peace with you
children.
lot. I really
In the sense,
wish I
you
never
know,
created
that
this
our parents
new
are not
account and tried to
related.
reach out. Good fucking bye. On
Oh
October
well.
6th, she wrote on Facebook angrily that she was the infamous centerfold that every stalker followed, who nobody wanted to be around because of her bloody fans, sharing the music video for the song Centerfold by artist J. Giles Band.
Yes, because you still think you're famous.
Added that she was experiencing
How does this
celebrity
person not understand that they are
discrimination.
actually not?
This was soon followed
Not
by
famous in the
an
classical
attempt
sense.
by
Yes, some
Jessica Quinn
infamy is
to
there, but
apologize
there's
to
really
reconnect.
no
It was
actual
soon uncovered
fame.
that this was not the same account which had been deactivated, and likely the attempt of a troll. Quinn herself returned to leave a comment for Chris, apologizing for the madness, and confirmed that the previous message was a troll attempt. She confessed that she was still open to Chris as a friend, and would leave her Facebook account open only for Chris to message her if she wanted, with all of her post and comment history deleted. Doopy Do-Over then returned to the Kiwi Farms to leave a few comments on the thread regarding the fake Jessica interaction after becoming upset by the relationship situation. Chris also returned to the farms to read through the thread and leave likes and ratings on Doopy's posts. Afterwards,
Doopy, you
Chris
should
resumed
learn
watching
your
Doopy
lesson.
Do-Over on YouTube and also the
I mean, you know-
Lasercast podcast, which featured her.
I can't blame somebody who finds something entertaining and continues interacting with it, but still.
Jessica to feed her and have her watch her belly grow, like her Sonichu characters. She shared a photo of a large ice cream candy cup she was having.
Oh,
via
it looks
Discord
like it's going to
because she was not
kill
sharing
you.
it with Jessica.
In many
This is
ways.
soon followed by another photo, this time focusing on Chris's large belly, writing that all of it could have been Jessica's. Her next photo was presumably
Is that
her reaction
really something-
after receiving a brain freeze from
But
eating
Dad,
ice cream. placing
water.
her
We
head
shall
on
indulge in some
Jessica's
water.
conscious. The next day, Chris went to see
Don't
the new
question
My
it,
Little
Harry.
Pony
You know
prequel
what we're
at the
watching.
cinema, along with some of her
It's
friends from the
every
Pokemon
time.
League Club, which she
I have to
would
go again,
attend
but
at the
yeah,
End
you do
Games
that.
card
Don't
game
worry about
shop.
it. Thanks for
She
dropping by
wrote
though.
on Twitter that while she was waiting
I'm
to
still
meet
gonna
up
be
with her
around for a
friends,
bit,
she
so
reflected
you have
that
some
her
more time
girlfriend
later.
was
Feel free to drop
unsurprisingly
by
absent
again.
from the movie event because she broke up
Otherwise,
with Christine
I'll see you
due to her
around.
fan base. Later that day,
would
she
it
confessed
be?
that she felt she was famous like a princess and had the difficult obligation to
I'd
keep
probably
as
stay
many
around
people
for
and loved
another
close ones
half
as
hour,
possible
45
happy.
minutes at
This was soon
least.
followed by an announcement
Maybe up to
that
an
she
hour
was
and a half,
recovering
depending a
and
bit.
was not going to kill herself as life and her work resumed. She then went to Twitter to reveal that the zip code of Quickville, Virginia was 16429.
Fascinating.
Not long after, Chris updated her followers with a new page from Sonichu, showing Sonichu's dramatic weight loss to return back to normal. On October 8th, she reminisced on Facebook that she missed the original Sonichu medallion, which was destroyed by a group of
That's right.
trolls pretending to be her first
You too,
theoretical
military.
ex-girlfriend,
Keep a stiff upper lip, my
Blanca
friend.
Weiss, in 2008.
Now,
She
see
announced,
you
for the
around.
sake of Christery, that their prank was not only not funny, but disastrous,
Boom.
as its destruction caused 4 years of memories, soulful
Back.
energy, and perhaps even real
Back
magic
to
to
the
disappear.
booty bay.
She wished
Where
for a
all the
moment
good
of
booty
silence for her
is.
first
Ba-da-dum,
medallion,
ba-dum.
and hoped to continue
Bum,
wearing her
bum, bum,
current
bum. Also, we almost leveled up again,
iteration
yes, so
forevermore.
neat.
On October 9th,
Getting there.
Christine made a new video
Getting there.
focusing
Actually, what
on
else is left,
updates
actually,
to her
talent-wise?
Patreon page.
Hello there,
I mean, Shadow Mastery, of
citizens
course,
of
because
Quickville and the internet.
yes, please.
Y'all know me. I'm Christine Weston Chandler, formerly Christian Christopher,
Yes, we've heard.
and I'm the
We've
true
heard
and
so.
honest creator of Sonichu, the electric hedgehog Pokemon, for 15 years. And I've been drawing my books, and for better or for worse. It has affected
Well, when you
thousands
actually,
of readers
you
over
know,
the years.
do your books.
This
Which
is an updated
that's
introduction
also rare.
to my Patreon, because not only do I need money to help pay the household bills, but to expand on the merchandising,
Oh,
including
boy.
finding somebody to make the custom Sancha and Rose-Chew figures of the whole set.
Yeah, I don't really.
Anybody interested?
I don't
in,
really think anybody
applying
would appreciate
to,
having
become
maker
a-
of
become a custom
Sonichu
crafter of these little
merchandise
figures and medallions?
in their resume.
They may submit their applications to my associate,
Just, you know,
where I'll put that
stray sword.
communication
I kinda think
email
that's actually a
address.
fucking
And below this video,
Fucking negative
upon
in your
uploading.
resume.
She goes through the available donation tiers, ranging from $10 to $500,
Don't
and
lie to me.
explains their
We've seen there's a
varying
$1,000
rewards.
tier.
So anyway, I thank
Or there
everyone
was at
for
least
their
at one
continued
point.
support over the years, and to all Christorians and all their support and everything. Again, I am Miss Christine Weston Chandler, female pronouns. Thank you very much, and have a great and awesome, safe day.
Chris.
It was around that time that members of the Kiwi Farms noticed a curious occurrence in the latest episode of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, titled Once Upon a Zeppelin. In it, a background
Once Upon a
pony
Zeppelin.
character is spotted a few times, wearing large glasses, a striped greenish polo shirt, and had a faded green mane. In one moment, he was the only character in the shot frowning and not showing happiness for another pony winning a contest. There was also an older pony couple who some forum members suggested to be representative of Chris's parents, Bob and Barbara. In addition,
Interesting.
these three were the only ponies in the shot to be wearing clothing. Christine later acknowledged the speculation and doubted that the aforementioned pony was based on her previous likeness. She added that she would prefer to appear on the show as the voice of her original character, Nightstar, and believed that a possible parody of Christian could only be confirmed or denied by a direct statement from voice actress Tara Strong or someone else involved in the
We
production.
should probably bind
of the
our
cartoon.
hearts down to the
On October
portrait
9th,
store.
Chris left a comment on her past
Probably be
friend,
better for us
Megan
in the long run.
Schroeder's business's Facebook page, featuring her handcrafted, felt anthropomorphic animals. Christine complimented Megan's talents and sent her and her family many blessings. On the 10th, Chris wrote a lengthy post after watching a YouTube video from My Little Pony commentator Dr. Wolf, which focused on fanfiction. She remembered how appalled and disgruntled she felt after discovering the Asperchu comic series, created by the troll Alec Benson Leary, due to the lack of love and respect for the Sonichu characters
remember
and
that one.
story which had inspired it. However,
Good times
she
were
had
had.
grown up mentally and emotionally
Good
since
times
that
were had
time,
indeed, weren't
and
they?
acknowledged previously detested fan works as stepping stones for fan artists who would continue to refine their craft and create bigger and better stories in the future. The next day, she reviewed the fan comic Sonichu Finale by Harry Darths. While Chris applauded the artist's drawing style and plotline, she greatly disapproved of the banning and killing of LGBTQ characters. Later that day, she requested that she wanted the artists of the various fanworks of Sonichu to print physical copies of the comics and then send them to her, including Alec Benson Leary, to whom Chris apologized for reacting the way she did in response to his Asperchu comics.
And she still want free
On
stuff.
October 12th, Christine commended
Read it,
the fan
Lazo.
comic Rose True Story by notable Kiwi Farms user Tricky, sharing a page from the comic. At a later point, she recreated the depicted scene from the comic in the form of a series of photos featuring Lego Pokemon and her customized Sonichu amiibo figurines.
Where would the be?
Also
Probably
on
inside
October
there, wouldn't
12th,
it be?
Chris wrote that she was feeling melancholy and was missing a certain her, likely referring to Jessica Quinn. The next day,
Is that really
Chris
debatable?
expressed her emotional jealousy at the YouTuber PewDiePie, who had met his sweetheart over Facebook and eventually met her in person after messaging for a long time. Unlike
mean,
Chris's sweetheart
good for him.
Jessica, PewDiePie's partner was not intimidated by his fan base. Later again, Christine frustratingly tweeted that she missed her sweetheart, who was scared off by the bullying trolls online. She added that the pony characters she created to represent herself and Quinn, Nightstar and Diamond Melody, respectively, were allegedly still together as a couple.
Sure
On
they
October
are.
15th,
Sure they are. In
Chris
your mind,
confessed
everything
once
can be
again
as
on
any
Facebook
fuck you
that she
want it.
missed Jessica and
In
called her
fucking
trolls
reality?
uncouth cads because they scared Quinn off by either hacking into or reporting her Facebook account. Over Twitter,
Oh boy.
Christine defended Jessica's legitimacy and demanded trolls to stop pretending to be her in private conversations or badmouthing her. The next day, Chris came upon the realization that if Jessica had truly been a troll, then their private conversations would have been leaked. Though heartbroken by her breakup with Jessica Quinn, Christine sought comfort in the possibility, however unlikely, that the nature of their relationship was genuine.
Wow.
This created a feeling of
That's
success,
fucking
a
hopeful.
belief that Chris did, in fact, have and lost a true sweetheart. giving her the strength to start again and keep moving forward, producing more merchandise and exploring new stories.
I mean,
new
you have to
characters,
reach that route, I
and
suppose.
new ideas.
That's gonna work splendidly. Nothing could go wrong here. After fucking all. Ah, Chris. Really never do learn. No matter how often you get punched in the face, the next fucking moment you're right back again to get the next fucking punch. And also really, if your best proof that, you know, person A not troll is that my conversations haven't been leaked, I would put a very mightily and big yet in there and go like, yes, yet they have not.
What made her this way?
Through here.
What is the attraction?
Would actually die.
What keeps us fascinated? This is the story.
Just because I don't sit down to actually heal. It's just gonna make this a bit of a tricky. A little bit tricky. Just trying a little bit down. Gotta be past
On October
here,
16th,
and then we'll hunt some
2017,
panthers
Christine
and kill
published the
them.
final pages of Sonichu issue 12, marking its completion. The comic
Congratulations.
begins with episodes 25, To Be or Not,
This
a
took
Tom girl,
you
told from
half
the
a fucking
perspective
eternity,
of
but
Sonichu's
oh
then
well.
son, Robert Sonichu, who reminisces that when he was still a young boy, he did not find destruction and violence fascinating like the other boys, and wondered why violence made him feel sad.
Well,
He
because
spoke
you're a
with his
little
already
bitch, that's
evolved
why.
sisters, looking for guidance.
That's all of it.
Sarah told him that boys were not supposed to be slow and cruel, but many were, and that Robert was one of the nice ones. Christine told him much the same sentiment. Upon speaking to his parents, Sonichu told him that he was without question a boy, while Rostru told him that they would still love him for who he was. Magichan told
Fascinating.
Robert that he knew what would happen to his life, but saying so would defeat the purpose of the young Sonny's journey of self-reflection and discovery. Magichan revealed that Robert's soul was female, and how he was to handle this information was up to him. Robert researched gender identities and sexual orientations online and wrote a report
Yeah, that's
on
a
the
good
topic,
idea.
for which the teacher gave her an
I mean, you
A+.
could maybe potentially also talk
Afterwards,
to a doctor
while
about
being
this and go
bullied
like,
by Farah, a schoolboy, Robert revealed
Probably
that she was
better.
learning to embrace her trans
Psychiatrist,
identity,
probably also a
which
good
made
idea.
Farah emotional.
The internet,
Confessing
honestly,
that he
probably
was
not the
gay.
best source.
Robert said that she was a lesbian and that they were both part of the SLGBTQ community, and Farah told her that he had a so-called bro dude, Doug Dawson, whom he loved. The two reconciled and went their separate ways. Later that day, Robert confessed to her two sisters that she decided to be full woman, just like the mayor of Quickville, Christine Weston Chandler. Sarah and Christine hugged her in love and support as she suddenly evolved into her final form. The three then became embarrassed as Roberta spontaneously ejaculated. Sometime later, Roberta meets with
That's a
Magichan
strange
up in
turn
the
of
tower
events.
high above the police department.
Like, I shall become a
Magichan
female.
gives her a gift
Ejaculates
from
all over the
future,
place.
a CD filled
Violently.
with binaural beats designed to transform her body from male to female after consistent listening at night for at least 2 weeks, without any need for surgery, but nevertheless would have
Yes,
the process
surgery.
expedited with periodic boosts of Magichan's psychic pores. After 4 weeks, Roberta develops double D-cup breasts, and after a further 2 more weeks, her penis shrinks and her vagina sprouts out. After a few months, Magichan examines her body with X-ray vision and confirms that she has become a fully functioning
Level
female,
up again.
requesting to return to him the
Someone else
binaural
until we
beats
get a
CD,
fucking marriage.
while still taking the doctor-prescribed
tasty.
medication until she would be told to stop. Roberta receives a Life Achievements trophy in the style of an achievement achieved in a PlayStation game. She goes on to reflect on her relationship experiences over the
Fascinating.
years, recounting her dates with her classmate, Vulva Pie, an original character created by the troll Alec Benson Leary, playing the part of Chris's online girlfriend, Jackie. In the comic, Jackie is the mother of Vulva, and after ending her relationship with Chris and leaking private information, she leaves Quickville, taking her daughter with her, and thus ending Roberta's short relationship with Vulva Pie. A few years later, she meets Mimi, a green Rosechew, at Quickville Shopping Center, and after a lengthy conversation, start dating and continue to hang out casually. Finally, Roberta reflects on a more recent accomplishment. In 2015, with her sisters Sarah and Christine helping her record the event, Roberta runs into the sky to do some skywriting and then performs a sonic rainboom, an action lifted from the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic cartoon, consisting of her releasing a grand burst of energy and creating a gigantic rainbow in the sky, which lasted for only 1 minute and could be seen from all across the east coast of the United States. In her closing statement, she states that she is loved by her family and friends and encourages her readers to love themselves for who they are. The next episode features a prologue set in the middle of a fight scene between Christian Sonichu and the Sonichu form of Reldnak, as Christian monologues about love and hate. The story then goes back in time to reflect on the events which led up to the fight. Episode 26, Prideful, is set during the first annual SLGBTQ Pride Festival of Quakeville. At one of the stalls, Angelica Rosechew meets one Danny Steckel, created in tribute to the YouTuber D-Stex, who had donated $1,000 to Christine to further the production of the Sonichu comics. He thanks Mr. Steckel for his generous donation to the town's soup hotels. Meanwhile, in the park, Christine, her twin sister Crystal, and other main characters are having a picnic and chatting on the grass. Gradually, more and more main characters appear and join them. Heather Iglesias, the nanny, brings over Christine's self-conceived Sonichu children, Russell and Cynthia, and they briefly embrace. Next, more characters enter the scene,
but just briefly,
including
I don't want to make it weird.
Bionic, and Megaji. Then, Reldnak also shows up, shocked that Chris had turned into a woman since the last time they saw each other. The villain explains that when he was changed back into Natesurk and was reunited with Kel, they started hanging out again and joining Pokemon tournaments. However, after some time, Natesurk became fascinated with men again and could not stop thinking about being more powerful as Reldnak. Then one day, he found himself changed back into Reldnak Natsu Natesurk, though he could not achieve his previous Sonichu form anymore. He left a note for Kel, stole a motorcycle, and made his way back to Quickville. He didn't know where Chris lived, so decided to attend the Pride Festival because he thought Chris would go there to fulfill mayoral duties. Reldnak goes on to complain to Chris to her face via a near full page of text, calling her homophobic because she had wanted to cure his gayness. He yells that Chris would not work because she is afraid of being fired. She hid behind signs while looking for women, looked like a perverted freak, was incredibly introverted, let herself get blackmailed and deceived many times by those she called trolling stupid, and would not work for herself while she remained stuck in her supposed depression and naive shell. Christine counters his arguments in a similarly constructed page of text, annotating that this was in reference to Chris and Reldnak being mirror opposites of each other. She admits that she used to be naive and depressed for a long time, but has matured mentally and emotionally since
you
then.
have not.
She notifies him that
just
she became more
again.
accepting, kind, and understanding ever since she came out as a lesbian trans woman, and that she is very needed at home.
Be careful.
Christine apologizes for forcing Reldnak into becoming something he
Safe
was
travels.
not. He accepts her apology and commences to feel neutral towards her. He then leaves the group amicably to eat a relish dog with mayonnaise, when suddenly he seemingly enters a pocket dimension and disappears from sight. Magichan appears to tell the group that Reldnak's aura had vanished and suspected their arch-nemesis Count Graduan pulled him into a void to re-enlist him for his services, and predicts that an attack would soon fall upon everyone attending the festival. In the void, Graduan, while still constructing a body for himself from spare parts found on the moon, tells Reldnak that he could give him back his hatred and powers if he were to serve Graduan again. Reldnak accepts the offer. Meanwhile, Christine puts the festivities on hold as her and the Sonichu is ready for battle. She also reveals that she is in the possession of a subspace cube, which could be used to send people into a subspace or an interdimensional void of suspended animation, where individuals such as Jerkops could be sent and could not be called upon by Graduan to act for him as he wished. Magichan announces to all the festival goers that an army of Jerkops was approaching as Graduan transforms Reldnak into Reldnak Hotak Sonichu and orders him to lead the troops into battle. Then, Christine has a future vision of her half-brother, Cole Smithy, sneaking up behind her and knocking her out. Chris teams up with her sister Crystal as they both cry out electric hedgehog power and transform into their respective Sonichu forms. Chris-chan Sonichu and Crystalina Rosechu. Together, they are known as Chris-chan Pure.
Chris-chan Pure,
to reflect how he had soul-searched to find his true self, one filled with hatred, and acquires an Xbox Life achievement for fully finding himself. He transforms into a Sonichu form and unleashes an army of jerk-ops and those possessed by Graduan onto the heroes. Chris-chan dodges an attack from her Graduan-possessed half-brother, Cole Smithy, and then knocks him out. Upon realizing that it was in fact her half-brother she had knocked unconscious, she sends Cole into the subspace, where he would be safe from Graduan's influence. Reldnak pulls
that's the only reason you sent him there, isn't it?
Where they fight the fight that was previously seen in the opening pages of the episode. Meanwhile, the Sonichus, Rosechus, and citizens of Quickville fight back against the onslaught of foes. After prolonged fighting, many of the enemies are knocked out, while others are sent into the subspace for their own protection. Then, Chris-chan
you're totally gonna leave them out again.
And steps out of Reldnak's different dimension, carrying an unconscious Reldnak in her arms. While updating her citizens on what had transpired, Reldnak disappears from Chris's arms.
Not gonna spread panic or anything.
The episode concludes with Magi-chan, Sylvana, and Chris confirming that their new subspace cube is effective. As a bonus, the next 2 pages reflect on Chris's real-life transformation into womanhood. She shows that when he started wearing skirts in 2010, his father was vehemently against it, while his mother was hesitant. Before his passing, Bob told Chris that he accepted him for who he was, and told Barbara that he loved her. Chris's mother grew more accepting of his changes through the years, up to and including 2014, when Chris formally made the transition into a lesbian
easy to get used to.
She recalls that in her past life, she was a lesbian
pretty difficult,
who had attended
honestly,
the
as a
Woodstock
parent, I'd
Music
imagine.
Festival in 1969. During her transition, Christine acknowledged that she had been naive and homophobic in the past, but had since changed and had become more accepting and now feels more positive, confident, and happy with herself.
I'm not too sure about that whole being
Final
happy
story,
part, honestly.
Episode 24.
It seems like Chris is still doing the same.
Is a continuation of the conclusion of
horrible
issue
nonsense.
11, where Sonichu and Sylvana, theoretically playing the part of Sonic the Hedgehog,
You
discuss past events. Sonichu goes on to talk about his and Rosechu's wedding in 2007, which features an event that was inspired by a moment from a Sonichu fan comic by John Crayon. Despite several nervous episodes and misunderstandings, Sonichu and Rosechu get married.
Yay!
Sonichu then moves on to discuss a later event, which starts with Rosechu, who after shopping at the mall, falls down a flight of stairs and is not able to get up. At Franklin Chandler Hospital, it is revealed that she had broken both of her legs and is to stay at the hospital for 2 weeks. During this time, she enjoys a lot of food from the downstairs cafeteria, and by the time she has to go home, Rosechu discovers that she had put on some weight. On the first night back home, Sonichu and his children cook up a large feast, which Rosechu uncontrollably gorges down and develops a large potbelly instantly. While she goes upstairs for a shower, Sonichu gives Roberta money to buy a pizza for herself and her sisters, while he goes up to have a serious talk with his wife. While squeezing into her pajamas, Rosechu states that she feels great after her stay at the hospital and does not apparently notice that she had gained weight. Sonichu adds that while he was waiting for Rosechu, Roberta offered him 2 slices of their large supreme pizza with spinach and pineapple, which was very good and filling, so he pokes belly. Rosechu then breaks down crying, admitting that she is disappointed with herself because she had gained all that weight. Sonichu comforts her by saying that he still loves her, no matter how her appearance may change. He then embraces her fat belly and comments how comfortable it feels, resting his head on it. The next morning, Sarah meets her mother and is shocked by her appearance. Sarah makes a joke about Rosechu looking pregnant to lighten the mood. Sarah becomes distraught because Rosechu is only concerned with eating. She becomes unwell, so Roberta records a video of Sarah explaining that she feels she is unable to function because their mother is big like Godzilla. Feeling angry, she walks away, debating on whether to punch her punching bag or eat a cupcake out of frustration. As time went on, Rosechu gets bigger, and so does her daughter, Sarah. Then, on the night of May 1st, 2009, Sonichu has a dream in which he is transported to the opening of a reddish cave by Count Graduan, who informs him that he has kidnapped Christine Weston Chandler and Rosechu, and Sonichu must pass through 3 challenges in order to reach and rescue them.
Of course.
First, you must cross a green river of a mystery liquid and would discover what it is by throwing a nearby cucumber into it, as instructed.
Are you sure that's not a pickle?
Upon doing so, Sonichu realizes that it is in fact a pickled brine river through which he must swim. As he travels through the brine, his body swells and he begins to fatten. He finally reaches the end and climbs out, appearing to be greatly overweight. His next challenge is to climb through a tunnel, which will progressively get narrower as he climbs. Sonichu enters, and the slime at the bottom of the tunnel helps to turn him back into his normal physique, and he squeezes through the rest of it, up to the opening at the top. He is met with 2 doors, behind each of which are 2 rooms which are on fire. One contains Christine Chandler, and the other, Rosechu, and Sonichu must decide to only save one.
After
contemplation,
that
he
Chris
chooses
died,
to save Rosechu.
finally.
As he enters, he finds her in the middle of punching a hole through the wall into the other room, through which Christine climbs through,
sad.
and all 3 exit.
Would have been
to
such a
safety.
good exit.
After a loving hug, Christine and Rosechu fuse together and become the overweight form of Rosechu, who falls onto Sonichu, crushing him. Sonichu then wakes up in bed on top of Rosechu and confesses his dream. Rosechu reveals that despite enjoying indulging herself, she prefers a more active lifestyle and wishes to lose her weight. She teams up with Sarah, and they both proceed to train and exercise to eventually burn off their excess weight. Thusly, Sonichu concludes his reminiscing to Sonic, and then the men meet up again with their partners, Rosechu and Amy Rose, respectively, and part ways. In a behind-the-scenes epilogue, Sylvana changes back from her Sonic disguise, while it is revealed that a shape-shifting Pokemon called Ditto played the part of Amy Rose in the episode. In a further epilogue, DJ Jamsta Sonichu and Elisa Rosechu sing the song Love is Love, Not You've Been Pwned. On October 17th, Christine published the cover art for the upcoming comic book Sonichu issue 15, which was a recreation of the
Probably
cover
gonna also
of
kill
Zero, with the
the
original
Raptors.
Christian form
Is there a
replaced
bit more
with the
down there, I
current
think?
Christine
That
iteration.
direction.
She promised the issue would be somewhat of a
But,
recreation of the first 3
that's
episodes,
probably then where
except
we're
with
gonna end
more
it,
details,
because that, you know,
commentary,
The
and
bed is
dialogue
falling for
from the
me most
characters.
severely, because
On
I
Twitter,
have to get
Chris
up at like
reflected
3.
that when comparing the artwork
I am
of
technically
the
speaking, I
covers
can
for
probably get
issues
away with
0 and
330,
15,
but
she found that her art style had
that's
improved
still
quite
pretty
well.
early, is that?
Also on that day, she made a YouTube video detailing how to make one of her Sonichu medallions.
Captain's log, stardate 101820. 10172017.
Come on, just do a fucking do-over. You're even doing just pre-recorded
Do that every
content.
time because I have the C-log and the date written in the typed in the title of this video. The reason I am making this video today is for the fans. Definitely for the
Oh,
fans.
so it's your old fucking intro. Why do you
But
question
also, I
it?
want to make it
Jesus
perfectly
Christ,
clear
Chris.
that this video is not to instigate anybody looking to make fake, or quote-unquote fake, medallions. I mean, because I pretty much have gone out of the market of making them myself.
And it was
Model
such a
magic.
nice
You will
little
need some white
source
model magic.
of money, wasn't it?
And let's see, you're gonna need some crazy glue.
Then you ruined it.
You can buy a pack of 2 of crazy glue at any Family Dollar store for like I think it was like it's like $3 or $4. And of course, you can need
Good to know.
paintbrushes. So go ahead and get yourself an assortment pack so you can have a large one to cover large surfaces, or thin ones to cover these detailed thin areas. And of course you'll need acrylic paints. These are obtainable at any craft store or Walmart, reasonably priced. Alright, so obviously I'll scan this and upload it later, but anyway, this is the full head of the medallion. That's a big part. That's for the spikes. You're gonna end up making 4 of those.
Couldn't you have made this a bit better just by using
muzzle
some
mount
tools?
area. this is the nose. Pretty much the diameter of the nose and the length of the nose. And this is an ear. You're gonna make 2 ears. Okay?
Well, thanks for telling me. I never would have guessed. But I
She
need
goes
2
through the
ears.
process of crafting the medallion out of clay.
And I think that's about it, so don't forget this and that, the other thing. Do this, do that. Like, subscribe, everything. Send money. Because we need to hire people and gotta pay bills. Ain't free. So,
Nothing's free.
I think that's about it, so.
Well,
You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. You know where they are. So, everybody have a great and safe day. Be geek, be proud.
Well, I guess we can go get this first. And we'll do the last few tigers on the way back.
Here we
Too much.
go. Shitty person. Have a good day. Be safe.
Shouldn't
be
work
good.
well enough, I'd say.
It was also on that day
See, you
that
can
Chris
skin
released a
pretty much
video,
everything,
which
yeah.
was largely a reenactment of a viral 2010 video made by YouTube personality Copper Cab, in which he rants about the claim made by the adult cartoon series South Park of people with ginger hair not having souls.
And considering what he had said
Sure.
back then in response to a certain episode of South Park, but yeah, it's like I can totally relate to this.
I don't
mean,
think you
can
can.
put this against anybody really, anybody who's being discriminated against as a minority, including anybody in the LGBTQ, or hell, might even say blue hair, blue greenish hair, whatever. But still,
Not my
anyway,
most beloved hair color in the
I can
world.
relate, I can
To be here.
empathize. So, again, this is a reenactment. His words, not mine. I'm good, but just pretend for the moment my hair would be red, and pretend I have freckles like Applejack. Fuck you, bitches. Fuck you, bitches. You, for real. I get sick and tired of everybody making fun of red-haired people. He's a ginger. She's a ginger. They're a ginger.
But it's a ginger. So
Yeah.
do not possess a single soul
That's
between
funny.
them. Disgusting.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, come on, that's fucking South Park.
I mean,
You're not supposed to
every
really
day,
take it serious.
Every single day at school. Every day of my
It's
life.
supposed to be offensive, you know.
I've contemplated suicide. All sorts of things. It pisses me off. Ginger people do have souls. All right. I'm
Highly
red hair.
debatable.
I'm red hair. Got red
Highly
hair.
debatable.
Proud of it. All right.
In response to this, Copper Cab shortly after released his recreation of the video Chris had made for the Parappa the Rapper song competition in 2007.
Hey P-Station, my name is Christian Chandler. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I have a PSP, I like to rap, I played for Rappa, and go with him now. The only song I know is Master Onion, which I got from a demo I borrowed from my friend Cameron.
This was soon followed by an interview video with Christine, hosted by Copper Cab and his friend and video editor, Cameron Nahas.
Nobody's surprised that he would make fun back.
Start.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome to this
Everyone
special
was
interview
surprised.
we've got with Christine. And
This isn't just Christine. This is an internet legend. This is an internet
I love that it's not
figure.
4 more, but
I mean,
it
come on,
shouldn't
this is
take that long to get
Christine
done.
Weston Chandler, the creator of Fucking Roast You, the greatest fucking comic book on the internet ever seen. Look at the
Yeah.
internet. Like, this is amazing.
I hate to say it, but I've read better.
They discuss the origin of the Sonichi
You know,
comics, the
comic-wise.
Housefire, and her
That'll be
struggles
couched
with
manga.
exploring her identity.
Otherwise
within
that
the
list is just
household.
going to be endlessly
I'm
longer.
curious. You handle it so well, you know? Like, how did Barbara? Did she support you?
Yeah, my mom was a bit put off at first. I think it was kind of like a subtle. I kind of slid into it because I'd say
A
among
bit.
which years before I figured myself out and realized that I was female soul was I started wearing I started wearing sports bras, and I also definitely swapped to I definitely changed my underwear. And then I started wearing skirts, and I felt more comfortable in the skirts. And that was when my father was still alive.
I looked away for a second and suddenly
Then
it's like,
after he
what?
passed on, I started wearing skirts and dresses
Okay,
more often.
that to be fair was my own bloody fault.
Yeah, and so
Got distracted for a second.
It's kind of like visually,
looking at the kitty.
It was kind of like easing in before I finally did come
God
out.
damn it, that was stupid.
June or July 2014.
I actually didn't see that one coming.
Was
We had a fucking eating store and
my mother
everything
was
prepared.
actually quite supportive about that. My
Precisely
father
for
was
that.
like, "Oh, you don't wear a skirt. Now go put your pants on."
Yeah. I was gonna ask how do you think he would be? Like,
I mean, that's.
supportive of that stuff, or is
I
he?
guess the first reaction you will get most of the times.
Or was he not?
Pretty much on his deathbed, his last words to me that he loved me and he accepted me for who I am, no matter what.
That's nice of him.
They move on to other topics, such as the Trolls, South Park, and her love quest.
I have met those who would become my theoretical exes, but they turned out to be the trolls among
the evil
pretending
trolls.
to be women
Yes.
or pretending to be sincere, but they were not sincere. They were trolling me for a prank. They trolled me to blackmail and deception, and it was.
And they did it all for
big
entertainment. Don't
bunch
forget
of
about that.
horrible
Their own
messes.
messed up entertainment.
One of them got the original medallion.
Yeah.
Horrible. I don't know. Do you have PTSD from any of that?
The video suddenly concludes with a promise to upload a continuation of the interview, but it was never released. On October 19th, Christine reflected on Facebook that a woman right for her should be prepared to handle Chris's trolls, but for the moment, she felt that she was fully capable of being happy with herself by herself. On the
I don't think
20th,
so, but
Chris
alas.
tweeted that if anyone wanted to interview her, they could pay her, and discuss the details by emailing sonitymanager@gmail.com, an email run by her so-called associates. A day later, she did another interview, this time live on YouTube, hosted by Satchmo, the creator of the Christian documentary. The interview has since been made private, and no copy of it is thought to exist, though can be gathered through discussions regarding it on Kiwi forums, that Chris revealed that she was using estradiol and spironolactone, gender transitioning medication.
Ah, so that's where that
The
comes from.
interview was widely panned by forum members for being boring and seen as an attempt by Satchmo to generate more attention.
I mean, I
by
kinda
interacting with Christine.
still doubtful if he's actually
Next day,
taking that
Chris
or
addressed
not.
on Facebook a recent
Honestly, I'm not too
interview
sure.
question regarding the most
Maybe he just
influential
read those
person in
terms.
her life.
I heard it
Aside
from
her
someone in
parents,
the
she felt
community
that it
was
her
like,
Providence
yeah,
Middle
that's something I
School
should
teacher,
do.
Virginia
I
Sanford,
mean, he doesn't go to
before she
the
was
fucking
strong-minded and
prodigy. He's the sort of person who doesn't go to the doctor when he's quite literally cutting himself in the taint and bleeding profusely. So, how much trust I put into him claiming that he uses any medication regularly is somewhat doubtful in my opinion, but let's not go into the topic too deep, shall we? Let's just continue and see what else
and had
we
encouraged
can learn.
Chris to be more confident and positively pushed her to do better and be herself as an individual person.
I'm getting paranoid.
On October 24th, Chris announced on Patreon that she was working on Sonichu-themed Christmas cards, which would be made available from her Redbubble merchandise store.
Thanks for telling.
On October 25th, Joshua Wise, a man who had previously commissioned Chris to make a drawing, made contact again with her under the name John Yamada, claiming to be a soldier from game industry, the main setting in the Japanese game and anime series Hyperdimension Neptunia,
I know.
a franchise which is influenced by existing rivaling video game consoles
I know.
and loosely
I know that
symbolizes
franchise.
their war for success.
Chris, you're gonna ruin this
Wise
too for me,
asked
aren't you?
Chris if she was still in possession of her old Sega Dreamcast
Don't
console,
fuck around with
which,
fucking
according to
Hyperdimension
him,
Neptunia.
could hold a portal within
Actually enjoyed
that
that
could
series.
actually transport Chris
But I
to her
needed some,
city of Quickville.
something just
From here,
I need to do with
Joshua commenced a long
cute
campaign
little
of
characters
trickery
going
and
at me.
deception with Christine, influencing her thoughts and creative process by convincing her of alternate dimensions
Oh
by the
God,
use of
that's
online
gotta be
roleplaying
easy.
as varying characters through constant messaging and the sending of edited photos and audio clips. One such early clip, known as Red Forest, was purported to have been recorded by Wise's character, John Yamada, in the forests of Chernobyl while on the search for magical artifact, referencing the video game series Stalker. The recording was, in fact, a collage of audio effects and sound bites taken from a wide range of sources and features the voices of Hyperdimension Neptunia characters Nebgear, IF, and Neptune. While walking through the forest, they get ambushed by Akan, a Russian antagonist from the action film Hardcore Henry.
Jesus Christ, English, that
This
seriously
Chris that Neptunia
disgusting.
characters could travel to her real-life dimension.
At least take the fucking
A later
Japanese
publicly
voices.
unreleased sound file created by Wise featured
Absolutely,
edited clips of
absolutely
audio from one of
disgusting.
Christine's past interviews, which made Chris think that it was a recording of her alternate dimension self, speaking to the people of Quickville. Joshua Wise later confessed that his initial goal was to simply mess with Chris,
Yeah,
and
to
perhaps
imagine.
speed up the output of the Sonichu comics by
I
influencing
pretty
how
much
the story
imagine.
developed. On October 27th, in a forum post, Chris's Facebook friend William Elliot Waterman's friend informed other readers that Waterman had suggested to Chris to donate some of her Patreon earnings to charity. Chris said that she would take that suggestion under advisement. She also had relinquished control of her profile on an unnamed dating site, feeling tired from having to deal with trolls, and gave William her login details so he could manage it on her behalf. The next
That
day,
sounds like a
she
good
updated
idea.
her Facebook profile photo to a picture of herself, holding up a page from her latest Sonichu issue, depicting Jamsta and Lalisa's duet, which was barely captured at the edge of the photo. On the final day of October, Chris notified her
Messed it up
patrons
too, eh?
that she was having some me time due to some mental quandaries, which caused a delay in uploads of new Sonichu pages.
It's your source of income.
Christine
Please don't
updated
screw
her
with that.
patrons with new Sonichu pages,
Jesus
telling
Christ.
them that they were delayed due to many unforeseen events over the past couple of weeks, and that she would be working on a very significant commission piece, which was claimed to have not been paid for by a mystery sweetheart, to dispel rumors. Also on that
disgusting
day,
little night,
Chris pleaded for her
runs away
Facebook
from us,
followers to
which
buy
is
the
good.
PlayStation 4 game Hyperdimension Neptunia, because the world of game industry and goddesses needed their help. On the 6th, Chris uploaded 2 new drawings and a Facebook post detailing a supposed power struggle occurring in Quickville
What do you
after
wanna
hearing
do
about
next
it
part
from
two, I
Joshua
wonder?
Wise. I can't explain as much with just these 2 drawings, but there was a reason why I asked y'all to share your shares with the goddesses of Neptunia. There recently have been troubles
probably
with the
not that
foes
one.
of game industry,
What can
and
I
some
do
of
for
them
you?
have invaded my city of Quickville.
Have a good
They
one.
hit us
That
big
we can
with
easily
Gradual
do.
and Crew last Saturday afternoon. I have had to personally astral project
Yeah, that
and
worked
share
pretty
my
well.
power
We can
with
do that
Christine
now.
there.
Well, we just
Plus,
need to deal with that.
Uzume was with us in Seoul.
Light
I will
be
tell
with
more
you.
with more visuals in 2 days on here, but it is crucial that everyone in this reality and world put their love and shares to Neptune, Blanc, Noir, and Vert, so we can take out our mutual enemies and prevent our realities
Stop
and
ruining
dimensions
that for
from
me too,
clashing,
Chris. Stop
or
talking
even
about
much
that.
worse. We all thank you for your support. In the replies to her post,
Fucking
Jessica
damn
Quinn
it.
returned
Every
to simply
fucking
wite,
thing.
"What?" in confusion.
Safe travels.
Surprised
to be
by
fair,
her
that would be
comment,
most people,
Christine
yeah.
messaged Jessica to ask her to
To be
prove herself
fair.
by sending via text message a picture of
Well, here's some randoms suddenly start talking like, oh yeah, what is the game industry? Kinda need some shares, so start believing, please. You know, the best reaction you're probably gonna get is somebody says, you're trying to start a cult or something. It's like, no, the cult already exists. I'm just trying to make it larger. It's a fun game though. I might actually make one of them, so. At some point. I'll put it on a list with the more weeby things we can do. It's not the only thing on my list of weeby things we can do. I have lots of things better for that particular branch, but you know, options, there are many. Someone also wanna give you some, what's that one called? The Azure Lane one. Not the original one, mind you, the Crosswave or something. Kind of fun to play with a bit. But you know, that's stuff you do a one-off and then you're basically done with it. Technically speaking, if I use my save game, I could play through Neptunia. I mean, you know, that's the sort of game that you can basically finish the main story of level 80, and then the game's like, yeah, but you can level to 999, so why don't you go ahead and do that? Or you're sitting there like, tempting. No, to be fair, it wasn't that tempting to me at first. Did kind of do it though for one of the games. A bet that I would do it. Sadly, that bet also backfired. Yeah, and then again, it was a fun experience.
Looking for something specific?
Not really. I think I'm actually... Yeah, we're probably gonna end it here at this point. Getting rather late, and as I said, I have to wake up really early tomorrow, so I kinda do have to take some preparations for that. That's the whole reason why I started, relatively speaking, pretty damn early. Let me actually get some good playtime in. Now then, let me see. Who has dropped by? First and foremost, I shall bid you adieu. Have a good one and all of that, and let me quickly see then. Well, on the right side, the YouTube side, we have good old Water coming by, and well, I'm sure our hearts are very connected because he still keeps dropping by, although we probably don't understand each other. I mean, if he would be speaking any English, he would probably try to write it, but since he's only using Cyrillic, I don't think he really understands me. Nor am I understanding him, and I'm not going to fucking learn a whole fucking new language, especially not the written form of it, anytime soon. Even if at the time, honestly, I do lack the motivation. I feel like, 2 languages and a bit of Spanish is enough for me. Gets me right and far, honestly, so meh. Well, on another note, the left side. Let's see who has dropped by on the left side. We have, well, first and foremost, little Terry, call me by. Right and early, staying for a bit, enjoying his time while he plays some Overwatch 2. Ah, yes, Overwatch. The only reason I know that is because there's an absolute, unbelievable amount of porn of it. As I can imagine, I could probably name most of the female characters, not because I've ever played that game, because I haven't. I did see a lot of them. Quite interesting, actually, how some things just take on a life of their own, don't they? Well, that is that. Next in line we had a little strategy member also coming by. And enjoying some more Chris Chan lore. All that is worth. I mean, it's something, to put it mildly. Not necessarily something good. And honestly, there are still there's no end in sight. I think we're in, what, 2018 in Chris's story? So that means we still have 4 years until we catch up with present day. It's a lot more shit that will probably go down. And also, we're probably now going to have to suffer through Chris defiling poor little hyperdimension Neptunia for a bit. That's saddening. I really wasn't a fan of him fucking
Need help?
mentioning Sailor Moon, but a
Farewell.
few of the other things we have heard so far I really ugh. But alas, I also will suffer through that, although it will make me cringe really hard, really long, and probably leaves me with some form of cancer. It's a risk I guess I have to take. That in mind though, yeah, I don't see any more notes here, so tomorrow's also probably gonna start earlier because, well, if I have to go to bed that early, I'll have to start relatively early, otherwise we can't really get any playtime. So probably expect me around in, well, my afternoon, which is probably 4 or 5 hours earlier than what the start time would be according to the schedule. Then I'll just take a look at the schedule and go like, okay, so it's set to that time. If I just, take out 3, 4, 5 hours, I'd probably reasonably be able to assume that it's going to be on. Also, if you want to be really lazy about it, you can just go into the Discord, you get a nice little role, and you get picked. Well, if I don't forget the pin. Happens rarely, but it does happen, in which case you get the nice and free opportunity to call me out in it. Go like, oh yeah, why not ping? Don't forget about that, now showed you. One of those nice options in life, isn't it? But yes, with that said,